Welcome back. I'm Derek.
I'm Whitney.
I'm Patrick.
I'm Jack.
And this is Bad Movies, Worst People. All right, guys, we're here this week to talk about a movie that wasn't that bad or that good. I don't know. I mean, it was a failure.
It's my fault. This is my
Fine.
fault.
I enjoyed it.
There's opinion of what bad could
Okay,
be.
yes, it wasn't good, but it wasn't as bad. You know what? The problem might be I've watched a lot of really bad things recently.
It's like a Stockholm syndrome. Like, a plot.
I remember watching this when I was a kid, so I was probably like 9 or 10 years old with my parents. And
Well,
I very much
it's
enjoyed
88.
it. So yeah, it was 9 or 10.
Yeah, okay.
Because
it
it
was
was
probably on
Blockbuster.
Yeah.
No, yeah, we never went to movies.
We definitely did not wink wink steal movies from Blockbuster. We did not put a little piece of tape over that thing and record onto
Casa
a
Video?
second VHS.
No, Hollywood Video. That was me.
Oh, we were a
Hollywood
Blockbuster
Video?
family.
No, I stole from Hollywood. I returned to Blockbuster.
All right.
That's why Hollywood went out of business first.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Dude,
thanks to you.
my first biggest place was called Rent-A-Flix.
I'm not aware of
The
it.
fuck is that?
Well, I'm sure it was like
the
a
biggest
local.
video rental place.
Oh wait, yeah, that's right. Because you're from New York, not
go.
Arizona.
I was gonna say, I'm sure it was like a regional chain.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to go to one. The one we used to go to wasn't even any of those. It was just a mom and pop, and then Blockbuster opened, and then all the mom and pops closed.
No more mom and
King
pops.
Video.
Yeah, it was over. on
Did you guys have
Pantano.
Blockbuster or Hollywood Video?
Hollywood Video came eventually. I don't think we ever had a Blockbuster though.
You never had a Blockbuster.
I'm sure they had a Blockbuster. It's like by the time he left. I mean, he left fucking
that
20
could
years
happen.
ago or more.
Like
When did you-
15?
When did you move to Arizona?
2005. So quick
so,
math.
So when they were
Dude,
dying
that was
already.
17.
That was
When
nobody
they were
saying a
already
word. Like,
dying.
so wait, what year is it right now?
No, 2005. I feel like that's when video rental places were already like Redbox was already in effect.
Yeah, but Netflix hasn't started streaming. Streaming was the death of rentals.
Yeah, my ex was working at a Blockbuster in 2005.
You
The
knew
last
somebody
time I
before her.
actually
How
rented
dare you?
In my hometown, it was at a Hollywood Video, and it was all 8 discs of Trigun.
Ow!
Where they had to give me that whole like, well, usually we can only let you do 3, and I was like, dude, I've got the night off. I just want to watch it all through.
But that's not what we're talking about.
No,
Oh, not what we're talking about.
That's not at all.
I could do a solid 3 hours on Trigun
We're not here to talk about good.
before
just
you
do
told
a
me to
whole
shut
a
up.
whole sideshow. We just sit in a room talking about. We're not making fun of it. It's not comedy. It's just a show where 3 dudes are sitting in a room talking
gushing,
about cartoons.
just
And a lady.
gushing.
Oh,
3 men and a lady.
you won't want to watch it. It's anime.
Oh yeah, fuck that.
Back to 3 men, no ladies.
So we're watching. This week we're watching a film from 1988 starring Steve Guttenberg, Darryl Hannah, Beverly D'Angelo,
Peter O'Toole.
Liam Neeson,
the
The
Neeson,
Irish.
Jennifer
Liam
Tilly,
Neeson's.
some
Oh,
ghosts,
God. Oh,
Peter Gallagher.
Yeah.
Peter Gallagher's
and
dick.
his eyebrows. Oh, most of his serpent.
He was very recognizable. When,
I thought all the snakes were gone out of Ireland.
The directors and writer was a guy named Neil Jordan. He also wrote and directed The Crying Game, and he wrote and directed another big movie. And then
Interview
he
with the
just
Vampire.
directed. He directed Interview
Well, I knew
with
he
the
didn't
Vampire.
write. I knew that was Anne Rice,
Yeah.
but I thought he might have like adapted the screenplay, mayhaps.
No, she actually
written
wrote
his
the
own
screenplay.
Oh, wow.
I
Oh,
just
good for her.
learned that. And then something else that I'd heard of, but it doesn't matter anymore because I lost it. So
And it's fine.
we're introduced to the movie with through like an over.
Did we say the movie?
Yeah, I said it. Did I?
I don't
High
think you
spirits.
said it.
Did I say it?
High
spirits.
The movie is High Spirits.
When Jack told me about this, I was
Lot of
like, "So it's a movie about
positivity.
ghosts and weed?" And he was like, "There's no weed." And I was like,
I
"Oh."
wish there was weed in this. I mean, it would have made it a whole different level.
There is Valium.
88, there's Valium.
There's
because
Valium.
in 1988, we don't
Drugs,
smoke weed, we eat drugs.
Sex.
Also, there's Daddy Special Sauce. Or whatever he called it.
Special
Special
brew.
brew.
Yeah, don't call it Daddy's special.
Daddy
sauce.
special sauce? Did you really just drop a daddy special sauce?
I did say Daddy Special Sauce.
Repressed
Grody.
memories.
So we start by hearing Peter O'Toole talking. Oh, Peter O'Toole, by the way, like his biggest thing that I know off the top of my head, was Lawrence of Arabia. He
Oh,
is
I know
the
him-
titular Lawrence.
I know him from being a drunk.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, apparently he's a big.
Played it off. I mean,
Apparently he's a big on-set drunk.
Yeah.
which you
no,
see
that's,
throughout
that's
this film.
like famously in his career, he drank. There's not him. He never acts drunk. He's never had to act drunk.
Never had to act drunk.
There were a couple of times in this where I was even saying, I was like, I think maybe this scene wasn't supposed to be drunk.
And Steve Guttenberg's like, I'll adapt.
Yeah,
Yes,
I'm method.
100%.
Give me that bottle of booze.
I honestly believe I could see them both actually getting drunk at that point.
we're getting ready to act. Let's just be us.
You know what?
Who
Lucy-
gets drunk while doing
You know
something
what Lucy's
semi-professional,
job,
right?
good.
That's ridiculous.
Professionals here the whole time.
drinking on stage? I couldn't be bothered.
So
Remember when I used to get mad at you for? I was like, "How do you drink a beer before you go to work?" You're like, bartender.
That's satire. He's never drank before work.
I don't drink
legally
before
do
work.
that, right?
No, but I think she's talking about like we would go to like breakfast and I'd get a drink at breakfast, but I would work for another
yeah.
6 hours. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
She's
going
like,
to
but-
sleep after breakfast.
I
anyway.
also
mean,
wonder that though, because I'm like, man, after a beer, you know, what sounds good as a second and a third.
Exactly. That's why I can't do
Yeah.
that.
well, you
Do I
know,
have a problem?
I was gonna say some of us have what they would call alcoholism, and some of us just drink way too much.
I've never been to a meeting.
Alcoholism is where you can't stop. Drinking too much is where you don't want to stop.
I am no quitter.
Oh man, you are playing some antics there.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't use this as evidence, please. Trying to like put me in a program.
Talk to my lawyer.
So Peter
We're
O'Toole.
concerned about your well-being, sir.
Peter
Just wanted to
O'Toole.
ask you some questions.
So for the first 5 seconds of this movie. So we've got Peter O'Toole who's talking. We hear him talking on the phone with somebody, and he's very politely describing all the insults this guy is saying to
No,
him.
my first name is not Dick.
My last name surely is not Head.
My mother never gave me a middle name, but I assure you, if it was, it wouldn't have been cocksucker.
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing a little, but
Yeah, he said
very
something.
close.
There
He
was
actually had
a
some-
lot there, though.
Maybe, or-
Yeah.
He had some very colorful ways of saying things throughout this film.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess that's just British. I don't know.
Oh, he's a bit
British
spot
or
more
Irish?
charming than British. He's Peter O'Toole, buddy.
Cut to an old castle on a lake with the rain coming down, and the phone call with whoever
With Lawrence of Arabia. And
owns the castle.
Don't forget, Mom picks up the phone and Peter, who are you talking to?
Oh, you see where he gets
Your
his
dad
his,
isn't
his
dead.
love of the drink, if you will.
1,000%.
yeah, he's getting hammered
Mama
while he's
is
talking to this
sauced.
guy. Oh, yeah. And the guy on the phone, we don't hear him, but the guy tells him he's going to move the castle like to a Irish land. He's
Yeah,
going to
it's-
build Irish land in
coast.
Malibu.
Where at? Malibu.
Malibu.
Where's Malibu?
Where's Malibu?
No, what is Malibu?
What is Malibu?
Oh, you're
but
correct.
it's a good way. I think Peter O'Toole does a really good job of like telling the audience, us, what this person on the side of the phone is saying. Because we don't hear him, but he's like, what do you mean move it to Malibu? What does he say? If I can't afford the postage to send
No,
you the
if
mortgage
I can't afford
check.
to pay you the mortgage, how can I afford to pack up this castle
No.
and send it to Malibu?
I don't think he was saying he couldn't afford it. He was claiming that there was a postal strike.
One, yeah.
No, that was he used his talent of the tongue to be like, well, obviously it's just the payment's delayed due to this unendless postal strike.
Mom
Yeah, and-
picks up and says, what postal strike?
Yeah, the mom is still
There you
listening
go.
like it's a fucking party line. And she's like, what do you mean postal strike?
the
He's like,
mom-
shut up, Mom.
Shut
The
it.
employees,
Yeah.
We
Mother.
see all the people who work there are trying to listen in on the phone call because obviously it affects their future. Basically, like this guy, the castle is under a lease and he hasn't paid it, and he has
From Mr. Bogan.
and they have 2 weeks to
Rogan.
pay it or they get kicked out.
2 or 3 weeks is what he says. And
Yeah. So they're all listening because this is their jobs and livelihoods. We have like the mechanic. I don't know any of these characters. I didn't look into it.
None of them have names.
They don't say the names enough for us to know, except for Ermin or
Irma, or yeah.
Eamon.
Emon.
See,
Emon.
we still don't know.
I
But
only
we
know
have
that.
with
I never
subtitles.
heard it. I saw it in subtitles.
Subtitles.
Yes, because I'm a deaf bitch and I need subtitles.
Oh, I got food in my mouth
Look at all
most
those
of my
old
life.
people. I can't hear anything.
I
don't know
like
if
a
you've
good
met me.
crunch of Fritos.
I don't know if you've met me. I'm a big girl.
I like to eat.
I like to snack.
So we have a ticking clock that they have like 2 to 3 weeks to get out. So that like, it seems like it's going to be a ticking clock for the movie, but it actually doesn't matter at all because this whole movie takes place in like 8 hours. Well, it's like 12 hours, and then there's like another day,
and nothing else matters.
Yeah.
Well, no, they have to stay 2 nights.
Wasn't it a weekend?
Well, yeah, but it's like the first night, and then like it seems like, and then everything happens that first day, and then they stay one more night, and then they just leave. So like that second night almost doesn't matter.
Well, the second night's what stopped them.
The first night is why. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
No, you're good.
The first night is the bullshit. The second night is the real shit.
Yeah, first night is the
Third
bullshit
night
fake
is,
scare. We'll get to that. Peter O'Toole has a genius idea of how to save this
genius.
hotel.
First, we have to
Sorry,
touch
you
on the
can't
fact
see me
that-
finger quoting genius.
First, we have to touch on the fact that he spends this entire movie trying to kill himself. Every time something goes
Okay.
slightly
that was-
wrong, he just puts a noose around his neck, and he's like putting it over the thing, and nobody seems to give a shit. People just walk in there like, killing yourself again, Peter? Which, by the way, his character's
I'm not
name is
gonna
Peter.
I posed to you that they've like, we've tried to tell him, we've tried to give him positive reinforcement. You're a good guy. People like you. He's like, no, I'm just gonna kill myself. So now,
I mean, this business is failing. I might as well just break my fucking neck.
so now they're like, all right, how can I talk him out of it? He's not gonna get cheered up ever, but maybe I can like,
Well, no, he's British.
I can get. Well, of course.
That was actually on the Oscars last night. Some British guys won one of the awards, and he's like, everybody seems to be coming up here and thanking everyone, but I'm British, and I don't really know about that. But I can say I'm sorry to the people who aren't up here with me. I'm sorry to, like...
How delightfully Anglo.
And then the other guy came up, because they only can talk for so long. The second guy that was with him comes up, and he goes, sorry, I'll make this quick. I guess we're making that a theme. Sorry.
Over apologizers? I love those people. Those are my kin.
Stop saying you're sorry.
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 Okay, so he's on the phone with Mr. Brogan.
Brogan, but we don't know that yet.
No, we don't know that yet.
I don't think we know
Yeah.
the name yet.
No, but yeah, we were at the point where he's basically trying to kill himself.
Yes, that's right.
And
Well,
then
you
the
can
mom
say
comes
basically, but he puts a noose around
Well,
his
he's
neck.
not doing a very good job. He puts a
was
noose around his neck,
prepared.
but he didn't tie the other end of the rope to anything. So he's just like, hey, Mom, hold this.
And if
I
you're
will
a
not
good,
do
hey,
that.
if you're a good mother, you help your son kill themselves when they ask
What was he
you.
going to do if no one came in? He didn't fucking secure it. You can't hang yourself without securing the counterweight.
Challenge accepted.
Oh.
I mean, I guess you could
hold my
David
noose.
Carradine
Wait.
yourself.
Are you trying to kill yourself or thrill yourself?
That's what I was just saying. You could David Carradine
Oh,
yourself.
you don't want
and
your mom involved in that. Hey, Mom, hold this rope.
Hold the other end of this rope. I'm almost done.
Lead singer of NXS also did that. Just
Yeah.
letting you
Not
know.
with his mom.
No, he was in the closet.
You don't know.
He had it tied
All
to
we
the
ever know is they
doorknob.
were found in a closet. Who knows whose mom was there? But she comes in and she's like, "Oh, there you are, taking the easy way out."
You've always been
Again. She doesn't say it, but you get the tone of like, again.
Yeah, and so this is where he comes up with the brilliant idea for like, ghost tourism. I don't know how. It was
He
probably part of
asked
the
her,
conversation.
what about
but,
what are
How
all
many
the-
ghosts? Because she
Oh,
says
yeah.
something like
but like
supernatural.
he did that out of nowhere. Oh, okay. I was like, he's just all of a sudden like, wait, how many
No,
ghosts are
she
here?
says something about like the history of the castle. He's like, well, wait, hold on. How many ghosts are in this castle? And she just starts listing off ghosts.
Yeah, Uncle Bernie.
the
I don't
nuns
know.
putting
Uncle Bernie.
the nuns,
And that's what I'm voting for this next election, man, is Uncle Bernie.
the nuns put in the walls.
Yeah. You got to put nuns in the walls.
How else do you keep
how you
the
keep-
demons out?
So you keep it safe. Oh, you have
Get rid of those
gargoyles? That's
fucking-
cool. I got nuns in my walls.
Well, these are we see them later. These are murder nuns. They have like the crazy winged hats.
Oh,
What
yeah.
wait, Jack, what did you call them? The
Jawa
Jawa nuns?
They decide to set up all this fake ghost shit, and they're like, like, oh, you'll be a banshee, and you'll have a mummy, and like they have some pretty cool ideas and some really bad
What
ideas.
did you say his name was again? Amen?
Eamon.
It was EAMON.
Is that the mechanic guy that's all upset? Is he the one with the Japanese hat?
Yes.
Yes.
He was the one that was wrapped up as
The mummy. But he's the one that sets most of this up. And O'Toole keeps saying, Amen, whatever, how you pronounce it, you're a
I feel like
genius.
he said it all the ways.
Because probably.
Because
How do you want me to say this? It doesn't matter.
Because yes, his name is Peter O'Toole, but they also made his name Peter in the movie.
Because he
could
kept
get that right.
introducing himself that way.
Peter Plunkett.
Who are you? Peter. Let's just call him fucking Peter,
The character's
dude.
name in the
Jesus
script is
Christ.
Alfred.
My
No, he's
name
not
is
responding to Alfred, though.
We gotta
Dickface.
print 18 new scripts, guys.
Alfred! He's not listening. Try Peter. Peter! Yes. Oh, okay.
But so while there was one like little thing for me as like a movie nerd. They're building all the sets. They're doing all the stuff. They have like the mirror that makes the mummy and stuff. The nerd thing for me, they're setting all this stuff up when they're doing the Poseidon like ocean show. Yes, I'm still gonna wave my hands around. They're doing the Poseidon ocean show thing.
Yeah.
And he pulls it and he comes up with he's like, bring me a fish, and he brings him the alligator head. And he's like, we're not doing the African Queen here. And I was just like, you shouldn't be referencing movies that are like legendary good movies in your not.
People are going to make some comparisons.
Didn't we hear something about the alien persuasion in Spielberg in another movie?
Yeah, but that wasn't a direct reference to a movie.
How is that not a direct reference?
They were talking about alien persuasion, as in just aliens persuading people. There's no movie called Alien Persuasion. I mean, sure, there is a movie called Alien Persuasion,
but he's
it was on
talking
Cinemax.
Steven Spielberg needs Alien Persuasion. Talking about E.T.
Is this
But I'm talking about this was
from
literally naming
Name dropped.
a movie.
This is name dropped.
Yeah,
the
the African Queen is a movie. There's a montage of them setting up all these traps.
No, we gotta cut to the Americans on their way to this.
Well,
No, I think we get.
castle.
they're doing the montage first, and then we go to the Americans, because then we're introducing the whole rest of the cast that actually matters.
Because the Americans are on the plane.
And then so they do. It doesn't matter. They're setting up all these like things.
Oh come
it's
on!
like
If Steve Guttenberg's in it, it's gotta matter.
yeah, just like Lavalantula.
Dude, exactly. I watched that movie like sitting there going, "Who the fuck is this guy? Why is he?" I finished it to the end.
You watched a movie with Steve Guttenberg and didn't recognize it was Steve
I
Guttenberg?
did not recognize.
I mean, it's like a
looking at his
2018
face, and I'm just like, "Who the fuck is that?"
He was
All
in
right,
the
that's
Goldbergs
the kid from
in 2018.
Sandlot.
I recognize that cocksuck. Wait, hold
You
on.
recognize?
wait,
That's
wait.
right, the redhead kid.
Yeah, the him.
Oh, the
the-
kid
the
from
catcher.
Son-in-Law.
Sure.
No. Let's recognize him from that. Talking about
Sandlot. I'm sorry, I'm going that far back.
Lavalantula.
The son-in-law isn't the son-in-law. That's fucking Encino Man.
Weasel.
Do you want to sit there and tell me Pauly Shore is the only person in Son-in-Law?
He's the
That is not supporting actresses. Actresses.
The Great Hambino is the little brother and son-in-law.
Yeah,
You are
100%.
Pauly
yeah.
Shore is the Eddie Murphy of Son-in-Law. He plays every character.
I'd actually watch that movie. I fucking love Pauly Shore.
Oh, all right. I'm not gonna bring it up all night, but another fun Oscar thing. 2 people from Encino Man won Oscars last night.
Shut up. Brendan Fraser won an
Brendan
Oscar?
Fraser
Oh.
and Ki Hoi Kwan. Fucking
is that?
short round.
Short round.
Fucking
Yeah, he
Data.
plays the head of
Goonies.
the. That's not Son-in-Law. That's Encino Man.
Oh, that's why I said Encino Man.
Oh,
Because you
okay.
just said
Encino
Encino Man.
Man.
and I
Sorry,
just thought
I
of it.
admit-
It's-
But he's
Yeah,
the
Brendan
head of
Fraser
the
and-
like the computer club.
Yeah.
In where it's like a montage of Brendan Fraser trying to figure out what Encino Man's good at high school. Spoiler alert: it's fucking everything, because caveman equals superhuman.
Everything Everywhere All at Once is the husband that's
Oh, Data.
jumping. Yeah, that's why I
Data.
said Data.
Goonies.
That's
Data
what I
from
said.
the
Booby
Goonies.
trap.
Booby trap.
Booty Trap.
Was he also short round?
Yes,
Yeah.
he was also short round. That was his first.
Oh, fuck, yes.
He
That was his
said
first
that.
role.
That's what Derek started this
Yeah.
on. It's like you don't even
No
listen
one's
to your
listening to
husband.
me.
I
I
could
really
be talking
don't
to
listen.
either of them.
It's fine.
I'm trying to
They are
time
both my
talking
wives.
into the. I'm trying to time
I
talking
don't know
into
who's
the
been talking,
microphone.
but I can't get a word in.
You know, you're both married to Derek, right?
Yes, we were both married to Derek.
He was
Hi,
mine
sister
first.
wife. You know what? You actually said that on a Facebook post 8 years ago. When like, hey, when can I see Derek? He was mine first.
8 years ago. God damn.
I just need to say something really quick. We keep referencing the Americans and the Irish. That's how they label them in the credits, by the way.
We're just getting to the
Label them
Americans
that way.
now.
We're not doing that. That's how they
I
were
might be.
presented.
No, we're doing that. I'm doing that.
We're saying the Irish and then the Americans. So like
Well,
we're the Irish have set up this like thing to be fake ghosts,
I think
and
there's
then
one Irish person in this entire actual movie.
Yep.
Wait,
yes, I mean,
It's surprisingly not
Liam
Peter
Neeson.
O'Toole. It's the guy that's
see, that's
Peter
what I was
O'Toole.
thinking.
No, we'll get to who the Irish guy
Well,
is.
Peter O'Toole might. I mean, he's clearly
wait,
got
wait,
Irish
wait,
descent at
okay,
some
so
point.
Sure, but
he's
if you
from
look at his
England.
Wikipedia,
You hear him talk.
yeah.
So the cast is the aspect of who plays the Irish and who
Yeah,
plays
in the
American.
credits, it was like the Irish, the Americans, and then the
so
ghosts.
we're not that asshole.
Well, they
then the
added the
ghosts.
ghosts. That way it wasn't racist. Also, that way they didn't have to call Darryl Hannah fucking Irish.
Yeah.
With
Oh,
this godforsaken
God. Let's
accent.
get to that
Oh.
accent.
Didn't,
All right.
no, wait, didn't
Please, let's get to that accent.
So they're
soon.
so we go. They're setting up the fake ghost traps and whatever to make these people think there's real ghosts. And I mean, it's pretty ingenious stuff, but it's also clearly not going to work.
It's all the guy Eamon. It's all him. They keep
Yeah.
saying like, "Oh, you're a genius." Like, well, we'll do this. He says like the
mirror was the best
45-degree mirror fogged up, yada yada, whatever.
Just
he
wait till you
says.
see it.
But
Yeah.
he actually is like has got some fucking skills.
The mirror is the best part. I mean, the girl hanging from the wires isn't bad, but they obviously give her thick wires. Not that it was any different than the wires we see on people who aren't supposed to be on wires.
Pre-HD, those wires didn't show.
Well, I was thinking about that. We kept saying that we were watching it. Oh, HD, you couldn't see the wires. HD, you couldn't see her fucking terrible weave. But like, film is actually a higher resolution than HD. So when this was playing in theaters,
Okay,
TV,
so
like screens.
pre-HD at home,
Yeah,
you couldn't tell. But in
VHS,
theaters, so you think you saw those wires in theater?
also at that point you were used to still seeing wires. It wasn't
Okay.
I feel like it wasn't as big a deal. You didn't have a way to digitally paint them out.
It tickles me when I see him now in an older movie. I'm like, oh, we probably couldn't
Like
see
Tammy and
those
the
back
T-Rex.
then.
I
But
wasn't paying attention to
Tammy
that
the T-Rex
shit
is
when
not
I
an
was 9.
old movie. Well,
no, but they had the wires.
I'm sorry. It's 1992,
Maybe
honey.
It came out in '94.
They can drink.
Same year as Jurassic, or 2 years after Jurassic Park.
which I didn't consider an old movie till right now.
No, you know how you know it's an old movie? Think about what music came out then, and think about if they're playing it on the classic rock station yet.
Oh, get knocked down!
The first time I heard Green
Chumbawamba
Day,
money.
the first time I heard Green Day on the classic rock station here, I was like, well, that seals it.
Before that was Nirvana. I heard Nirvana.
Oh my God. that
Nirvana
was
didn't
mine.
bother me
On
as much
classic
because
rock.
Nirvana, I don't know. It didn't. The classic rock station here in town has been playing Nirvana for longer.
Because he
But I
died.
mean, no, they've been playing it since like the early 2000s or the 90s when it wasn't really classic, quote unquote. They didn't start playing Green Day until it was 20 years old, and I'm like, oh, it's 20 years old. Well, fucking kill me. So we're introducing the whole cast now after 30 minutes. All right.
fine.
On a very delightful old bus.
No, they're on the plane first.
No, we're on
God
the plane.
damn it!
Yeah, we haven't got to the bus
I
yet.
was about to say, see, that's what I was saying.
Steve Guttenberg.
The Americans.
Steve Guttenberg is kind of the main character, I guess. I don't know.
Jack.
It's a balance. But yes, Jack.
He spills champagne. She goes, "Oh, next you're gonna want to have sex." And there's a row of ladies behind him looking at him like, "You dirty fucking
How
dog.
dare you want to fuck your wife?
How dare you have a libido?"
So Steve Guttenberg, famously from the Police Academy series, obviously.
Famously,
I mean,
Is
that's
that
all. That's
after
really
this?
I know him from. Before and after.
What?
There's like 7 Police Academy movies.
Well, yeah, I know.
and
but
he's only in like 4 of them, but
I thought
I got the whole box set out there, by the way.
oh, there's a bunch.
Bobcat Goldthwait kind of takes over for Guttenberg later on.
I'm sorry. What name was that?
Bobcat Goldthwait.
But no, like, what was that?
Bobcat Goldthwait. I don't even know what I'm doing here, you guys.
Yes. Thank you.
With my illness right now, my throat, it was hurt. All right.
But it
he
worked.
also in Short Circuit.
Yeah,
And he's in 3 Men and a Baby.
yeah.
We're talking
Not
about
3 Men and a Little
Guttenberg
Lady.
again?
Yes.
Okay.
He wasn't
mean,
in
he-
3 Men and a Little Lady. They
Oh,
replaced
that's
him.
right. It was Ted Danson and the other mustache guy.
Tom Selleck.
Tom
Selleck.
Selleck. Thank
Those
you.
are also people in 3 minutes.
They were in the first one, too.
Right, they're in the
This-
first one, but they were also in the second
I don't
one.
think
but
the
not
Goot came
Guttenberg.
back for the second one. I think somebody else took his place.
The Goot did not have anything to do with that.
I'm pretty sure it was the other way around. And his wife, Beverly D'Angelo, who plays I just called her Beverly D'Angelo in all my notes. Some
Honestly,
woman,
don't think I know her name.
Shannon?
Sharon.
Sharon.
Doesn't matter.
Brogan,
Rogan.
who's the
For the
turns
record,
out-
Steve
But
Guttenberg
it's one of
did
those-
come back.
Did he?
For 3 Men and a Little
Oh,
Lady.
okay.
I
I
fucking
could have
knew
swore
it.
he didn't. All right,
Yeah.
who cares?
You can't get rid of Goots.
The second movie
Yeah, you
sucked.
can.
I
He's
mean,
a-
the first movie wasn't very good either. So,
Didn't we
Whoa,
mention
buddy.
Lava
It's like
Lantula?
we're not friends.
have you watched it as an adult, or do
Yeah.
you just have
Well,
nostalgia?
all right. For the record, I've never actually been an adult, but
Denial.
in my years of the 30s, I have definitely watched 3 Men and a Little Baby.
Okay.
There you go.
Little
Much more
lady.
recent than me.
No, baby.
Well, there's little in the first one. It's just baby.
Yeah, it's.
I know,
Three
but I
Men
thought
and
you
a
said
Baby.
they were both bad.
Well, yeah, I did.
Oh, okay. Baby, I will watch Baby any day. I won't watch Lady any day. This is weird. This is weird to say.
Is that the one with
It
the?
is very weird.
I'm trying to watch a baby, not
No,
a lady.
that's look who's talking. Never mind. All right.
I just saw 3 Men and Rosemary's Baby the other day.
What the fuck
Wait,
is
what?
that?
It's a pun.
No, it's from another movie.
What?
There's like a
Is it a
spoof
porn?
movie called 3 Men and Rosemary's Baby.
Stay tuned.
Oh,
They do that part. Yeah.
I've never seen it.
Really?
Yeah.
We talked about
Oh,
this
we talked
today.
about it earlier.
He's
We
never
just talked
seen
about
it.
it.
Oh shit.
It's been recommended to me by a few different people. I told you for this podcast. So Beverly D'Angelo is playing Steve Guttenberg's wife. Everybody knows who Beverly D'Angelo is. Vacation. She was in Violent Night.
Yeah. Married Al Pacino, or at least had a
She
couple
was in
of
American History
kids
X.
with him.
Did she?
Yeah, there's a great story about her being
Hoo-ah.
in a relationship, like a very open relationship with this guy that is a European guy. His name escapes me, but they were in a great relationship where it's an open marriage. They're allowed to do this, that, and the other with everybody else. She fell in love with Al Pacino and told this guy, I have to not be with you. I need to be very mono with Al Pacino. And the guy was like, you don't have to leave me for that. You can just do that. And she goes, no, I have to. And then they went and had 2 kids. It's a whole fucking thing, dude.
Literally did not know this.
Yeah, check it out.
That's
Get
brutal.
you some of that.
You're like, yeah, it's cool if you fuck people. And she's just like, bye.
Yeah. It was like, no, this is the one that broke the Polly's back.
Oh, damn.
Oh. All right.
It's because Pacino didn't want to share.
Fuck no.
I'm sure. Hoo-ah.
She's got a great ass.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yep, he can't resist the son of a woman.
Why
All
don't
right.
you just take the flower?
Oh my
you
God.
Wait until the flower opens to you. Let's talk about the plane ride.
It doesn't matter, honestly. Like nothing on this plane happens. It shows that she's a bitch and their marriage is not great. Like he's trying and she doesn't give a shit.
He's
That's
trying
plain
to
and
be
simple.
his natural Gutenberg
Yeah.
self.
And we basically cut from there straight to the bus, right?
Yep.
And then they're driving.
Yes.
They're on the bus to the castle.
Now
and this is
we're
where we meet all the rest
introducing
of the cast.
Americans.
Yeah, we have Jennifer Tilly who plays Miranda. Jennifer Tilly, she's Lois from
Yeah.
Family Guy, Bride of Chucky.
Bride of Chucky.
Lowe's from what?
That's Lois.
Not
Jennifer
Lois. Not
Bornstein.
Lois. She is the Joe's wife.
Oh,
Yes,
Bonnie.
Bonnie.
Yeah.
Bonnie.
Same
Where
thing.
it's- Her voice is
Look,
super
Alex
deep.
Borstein.
I know
Jennifer
her from
Tilly.
Liar Liar. Where it's
All right.
like, oh, you weigh 120. What? In your bra? Like, she's
I just know her as Jennifer Tilly.
she's a fucking sex pot.
She's a
also in
busty
Bride
girl
of
that's in
Chucky,
movies where they
wasn't
talk
Yeah.
about how busty she is.
Yep.
That's, I mean, it was the same thing in Bride of Chucky. She was a busty doll. I was like, oh, who designed this? What the fuck was he called? Good Time Charlie. The fuck was the name of that doll?
I don't know, but I think I'm changing my name to Good Time Charlie.
My buddy something.
It was basically a runoff from My Buddy. Remember?
Yeah.
My buddy, kid sister, my buddy, kid sister. It
Wasn't
was
my
one of
buddy?
those.
Wasn't my buddy
buddy
the
and
fucking
My buddy and me.
Chucky one?
Well, kind of.
I mean-
it was a good guy. Is Chucky.
The good
There we
guy,
go.
good guy.
Good
So I said
guys.
good guy Charlie. All right. And then we also have one of the other 2 like recognizable actors on the bus. Peter Gallagher.
You know him from his eyebrows.
Yeah. Also American Beauty.
Well, with his eyebrows.
King.
With his eyebrows.
Mr. Deeds. He's
yeah,
the bad
Mr.
guy.
Deeds.
In Mr.
I don't
Deeds.
remember him in American Beauty.
He was the king of real estate.
Yeah.
She got nailed by the king.
I don't know. He's playing a priest here, brother Tony.
Pre-priest.
Tony.
Yes.
Pre-priest.
That's why he's a brother, not a
Yeah.
father.
Yeah.
Priestly. That is priestly path.
Is
That's
that what
my
all this
brother,
like
not my father.
step porn is about? Like he's a brother and then he's a father. It's all these kids that just got raped by priests and now that's what they want to hear.
So think of what he's doing is like what the Amish do. They're like Springalonga.
Rumspringa.
Rumspringa.
Rumspringa. It's not like that at all.
No, he wants to. He
That's
said
what he's
no.
doing.
No, he said he wants to go to the land of spirits or whatever.
There's
Ireland.
there's a name for it, like
Yeah.
the Isle of Souls or something.
Yeah, he says something
very
like that.
ominous.
and
Yes.
it's to like it's part of his like because he's about to become a priest and he wants to go here to like
kind
be
of
closer
test
to
his
God.
vows, I guess.
Exactly.
really.
That's what I thought he was trying to do was test his shit. So.
Well, if he was testing his vows, he would have gone somewhere like Vegas, but he didn't know he was going to test his vows until he saw Jennifer Tilly.
The other big one on here was well, not big one, but the one you're gonna recognize.
The name you
everybody,
won't know.
No, nobody will know his name,
The
but everybody
face you'll know.
Yeah, you see his face and you know who it is. But his name was Martin Ferrero. He plays Malcolm on here. He was the lawyer in Jurassic Park that gets eaten.
If you would have seen the,
Sitting on the toilet.
if you saw the lower half of his thighs, you would have known right away who this dude was.
If you saw him on the toilet,
Gennaro from Jurassic Park, I think.
Was that his name?
Yeah.
It's funny because his name is Malcolm in this, so it's kind of hilarious because Ian Malcolm
Yep.
was who he was running with the whole time.
And this guy tries. We'll get to more of it, but he tries.
Yeah,
and
he's just not meant for
He's
comedy.
a parapsychiatrist.
I'm glad you remember that name because I thought about it and I was like, para something.
So we got that character down.
And then his
now.
wife is a woman. The character's name is Marge. The woman's name is Maggie or Connie Booth.
Connie, yeah.
Didn't recognize her.
I recognized her. I wasn't sure why, so I had to go and look it up. She plays the witch in Monty Python. She's also a character, a couple characters in the next one after that.
Yeah.
Now for something, not the next one after that, but
Life of
now
Brian?
for something completely different. This was the show. And then she was also on Faulty Towers, which is a British sitcom that I've watched some of, and so she's a British actress.
You're saying she's quite British then?
Yes, she's a BBC actress.
Right.
She's quite British.
Quite British.
Why you gotta get cogny with that?
Sound the way to talk, love.
Spotted dick or spotted tea?
Wait, spotted or spot of? I don't want a spotted
lost it.
tea. I don't want a spotted tea, and I also don't want a spot of dick. But I'll take a spotted dick and a spot of tea.
You
What
switch
is-
those, I'm in.
What is a spotted dick? Isn't that like
it's
the
like a-
blood clot?
No, it's like a fruitcake kind of thing.
Oh, that's right. Didn't your brother get you those?
Yeah.
Christmas?
He got us some for Christmas. I
Your
tried
brother
one.
got you some spotted dick then?
He went to some store and he was like, they have all this weird international food, so I just bought some shit and that says dick on it, so I bought it for you.
He's the best
Big
step
brother, I
brother
thought
ever.
of you.
I thought of you when I saw a spotted dick. That's just like fucking.
You have no idea how many people have said that to me.
I was
Great
saying it's
little
just like
brother.
Macaulay Culkin thinking about Michael Jackson.
Oh.
Some hair, maybe some glitter.
The guy
or
still
shaft.
can't drink wine from a Diet Coke can to this day.
Also, Macaulay Culkin, if you ever want to be a guest on our show, please hit us up.
But make sure you bring back that Cards Against Humanity that you stole. All right. So they have Peter O'Toole is kind of doing like an intro thing about how haunted the castle is. When they come in first, they have the girl that's playing the banshee on like the ropes or whatever, and she
on the
falls on
weird-ass
top of
bus.
she's wearing she looks worse with the wig on. She looks
Yeah.
more like a banshee without the wig because she has red hair
She's
and
got
banshees are
fiery
Irish.
red wild hair.
Yeah.
Nah, put a black wig on it.
Put
They
this.
put like a Joan Jett fucking
That's
wig
what
on
I was
her.
just about to say. They put this fucking 80s rock Joan Jett fucking bullshit wig on her.
Mullet with spiked on the top and longish in the back.
So Peter O'Toole is introducing them and he's giving them his whole history of the place. And they have this awesome stage production of like, you know, the old school where you take like you have like the wooden waves and one's going one way and one. Stop hitting the mic. One's going one way and
You be
one's,
talking Indian.
and one's going the other way. And they like move the wooden things so it looks like the ocean's moving.
It's
and,
an old school practical Broadway, not Broadway obviously,
No.
but like stage production.
Off Broadway. Off
Like
Broadway.
across the fucking pond though. But like yeah, it's a cool fucking thing. Like I know it's not haunted and I'm not buying it if I'm trying to be haunted, but I'm enjoying the fuck out of it if I'm
Yeah.
staying at your goddamn castle.
They're talking about the mermaids and Poseidon or some
yeah,
shit.
hit me
This
with
is
more
all
of that.
after the naked horse lady, the banshee screaming, them almost falling into the fucking, or they did.
Oh, we
I
did
forgot.
skip that.
I was
They
like,
did
naked
fall
horse
in.
lady.
Well, so she had a skin suit on. She's supposed to be Lady Godiva. The bus falls in the water, and everyone starts freaking out and panicking. And the driver says, "Don't panic. It's amphibious." Or so I'm told.
So I'm told it's amphibious,
But then we cut to nothing happening with that except for them showing up at the castle, sopping wet.
But here's Chernobyl's bus.
It is Chernobyl's bus, dude.
Chernobyl's bus.
It is Seamus's bus.
Yeah.
Seamus's bus, yes.
I'm trying to think of another Irish tragedy like Chernobyl was for the Russian movie, except for like that's just Ireland.
Oh, the potato famine. For fuck's sake, man. That and the Lucky Charms wars.
This is St. Patrick's Guinness.
I like that. St. Patrick's
make it
Guinness.
like a treat. Get the fuck out of here.
They get off the amphibious
They
bus.
finally make it to
They're
the castle.
in a soaking wet state when they get to this castle.
That's what I was saying. Chernobyl's chainsaw thing for this was the where he's doing the Poseidon play, the introduction.
But Whitney's not wrong here because that
it comes back.
That bus comes back.
Yeah, I know. I just forgot about the bus.
They did a great job with that.
Did they do that to show off the whole ghostly aspect of the haunted castle
Yeah,
hotel.
that's them trying to be like, look how haunted it is. These are the stories from the past. These people died and this and that happened.
Which was a great production.
They
nonetheless.
duck under the cardboard, so it's supposed to be haunted.
I know, but you can totally see them on the side. Like, you see their hats, like, they're like, oh no, my hat got stuck. And they, like, grab it off the wave again.
Well, yeah, and all the help disappears because they're the same people that are running the show.
Lights go off.
But the people didn't notice. The Americans didn't notice that the Irish disappeared. This is going to be helpful, actually. And then they're like, where'd they all go?
Don't ask, they might come
Yeah,
back.
don't ask. We might see them again. Fuck that.
They're walking away. Steve Guttenberg goes, "Oh, kind of scary, kids. You didn't see Friday the 13th?
Didn't you see Nightmare on Elm Street, Dad?
Wrong
Oh,
fucking
yeah.
horror movie in my
God
mind.
damn it, Jack!
It
There's
doesn't
still
matter.
also the think of the children moment.
Think of the children.
Oh, when he's on the bus and he's talking about all the horrible things that have happened. We have children here. So
Oh, yeah, by the way, this movie is PG.
I think did
It
we
is.
verify?
It is.
I
Big
don't know.
mistake, by the way. If you make this PG-13, maybe you can have something better. If you make this fucking movie R, we're having a much better time.
Well, this comes back to what you're talking about. You said like it cost a decent amount of money and it was expected to make a decent amount of money,
And it was
but
1988.
it didn't do well.
It didn't
And
do well at
as
all.
we were watching, like when this movie was finishing, I was like, okay, I can see this was not like what we usually do, which is like cheesy B. Like it had no budget. It wasn't
Right.
meant to.
Right.
This was meant to be a successful movie. Like,
But
you
I would
can look
say-
at this movie in the time frame and go, this. They expected this to go to theaters and do well. They expected this to be fucking Ghostbusters or something like that.
Next Beetlejuice, maybe?
Yeah.
Come on, man! I'm selling you Darryl Hannah and Steve Guttenberg. How can you go wrong?
and Beverly D'Angelo.
Beverly
Who's that?
D'Angelo is the big one at this point because the first
Vacations.
Vacation at least had already come out.
Yeah. Maybe
So-
European at
Oh,
this
Remember,
point.
she did the sexy dance for the video.
She's stunning.
like,
I feel like if you make this movie at minimum PG-13,
Well,
now we're getting some better stuff.
that's what I was
They-
getting to. Was like if you make it PG, you're open. It's a classic mistake. They still make it to this day.
Yeah.
Where they'll make a movie PG or PG-13 when it should be PG-13 or R because they're trying to open it to a wider audience. So you're talking 1988, make it PG. We'll get more kids in there, which means more families can come, which means we make more money because you're selling 4 tickets instead of 2. That was their thinking.
You wouldn't
and
say
it's incorrect.
things like you almost shagging killed me instead of you almost fucking killed
Yeah.
me.
I mean, it's the classic, it's like, Live Free or Die Hard. They made it PG-13 by
Yeah.
taking out the one line everybody wanted to hear.
You can't have a Die Hard without yippee-ki-yay motherfucker.
I saw that movie in theaters
Not.
and I was so upset because it's like, yippee-ki-yay, and then there's like an explosion or some shit and it was like,
Brooklyn
I
Nine-Nine
should
did it
leave.
better.
I should leave right now.
Yes, they did.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine did it better.
9-9.
All right.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're starting to see their fake hauntings. Malcolm and Marge, I believe was her name, the wife that I was just talking about, the British
Yeah.
actress.
I mean, you would know.
No, I wouldn't.
He was the one to put on the scene.
They're in their room and he's
Boudoir.
using his like parapsychology fucking Ghostbuster equipment to try to get
All his
signals or whatever.
toys.
So he's not paying attention and she's trying to get undressed and she's wearing like very provocative lingerie for just like I was wearing a very fucking
productive.
frumpy
It's
dress
not.
earlier.
It's not provocative. She's wearing a
I was
slip
titillated.
over her underwear.
Well, no, but she's got like
Garters.
She
garters
has
and
layers,
high,
though. That's what they did. They had layers. I remember my mom wearing that shit.
I don't know.
under
I
work
just think like
clothes.
garters and like the
She did have
lace
some full
stockings,
butt
like-
underwears, but she was wearing the shit out of them.
And then she had the slip skirt over it to.
Well, I mean, the top
prevent,
part
like,
wasn't, but I don't know, just the garters.
It's to prevent the skirt going up your butt crack or up your ha.
Despite your feelings, I think it's supposed to be sexy.
No,
which is
that's what
why-
I'm saying.
But
But it's still supposed to be PG because your child has already seen you wearing these
It
clothes.
has to be PG,
They
and I'll
know
tell you
you're
right now, give me some nerps. I think this scene was supposed to be nerps.
I mean, you get nerps, but you see it through the sheer of the silk.
absolutely.
it's
Yeah,
a
you
little
get-
bit of a goofy comedy,
you can get
so
away
they weren't
with
really
PG.
going for that. I guess it's not your like 80s boob comedy.
I was just gonna say though, think of some '80s movies. It's like, well,
Hot Dog the movie?
We need a little extra rating, so
Anything with
nerps.
the word ski in the title?
yeah, see, or school maybe.
School days.
Even like Bachelor Party with Tom Hanks. It's like gratuitous nerps.
Come on, there was
We'll get
just
that rating for nerps.
the,
Yeah.
the nickname Bugbear, I believe it was.
Oh.
There's a person who's hiding in a suit of armor. That's one of the ghost traps they set up, and he's got roller skates on, which apparently no one can see. But like, so she's trying to get undressed, and the other guy's not paying any attention. Her husband's not paying any attention. So the armored person comes up and like helps her take off her like bra, like, helps her undo her bra, and she hands him her garter, and he just goes back and stands by the wall again, and no one even notices, which is kind of funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, she calls him. She says, "Oh, thanks, Bugbear," which just made me think of D&D, because bugbears are
Owlbears.
well, there's also owlbears.
But I call you Boo Bear.
You fucking nerd.
You're a nerd.
That's not wrong.
That's fair.
How dare you?
I yell at you. I'm not a nerd as we're in my room that's covered in board games and fucking movie posters.
I'm looking
Nerd.
around this
I'm
room
a
right
geek.
now, and it's like, man, if I didn't see your wife right here, I might think you're a virgin.
War games poster, Jackie Chan poster, fucking 3 shelves of board games.
Also, why do I not know this movie? Streets of Fire?
It's a Walter Hill movie. Walter Hill being, 48 Hours.
Are we talking about good movies here?
That's a good movie. It's a
Good
cheesy
movie.
movie, but it's good.
Well,
That's a
doesn't
crazy
change my
action movie
question.
with a PG rating. which
Okay,
is
so
crazy.
we need to watch
So
that.
that's a new. It's a new
good movie.
poster, and I
Derek
replaced.
will never show it to Patrick.
He's not allowed. I'm trying to break him down.
It's torture only from here
Trying to
on
break
out.
you like a horse. The second haunting we run into here is Jennifer Tilly is in her room and she's watching TV.
The best haunting.
And she lays down and like puts her head down and the bed starts to spin, which I mean, I
First
get
real slow.
Yeah, I
where
get
just-
that these are supposed to be though like fake things they set up, but I'm like, so did you just like dig up this entire piece of like you like cut out a giant circle in this ancient castle to make a rotating platform?
No, it actually shows if you look.
Oh, that's right, because the
it's
bed rolls on wheels
You
later.
show it. No,
Well,
you
it's
show it later.
on strings up top. It's
Yeah,
levitating.
It shows it.
I mean, that's the movie effect, but in the
No.
in the
I think the
movie-
castle effect is them picking it up,
Oh, okay.
suspending it,
Yeah.
and spinning
Okay.
it.
Because it shows
so,
all of the
strangely
ropes.
enough, the wheels you see, I think, are part of the set and production, where it's supposed
Well,
to be them
no, I'm saying when I
sliding
say
down the
wheels, yeah, I'm like
stairs.
they start rolling around the castle.
Yeah, I don't think
No,
it's
that's-
supposed to be rolling. I think it's supposed to be like ghost possession sliding.
All right. But so yeah,
We're
the bed
nitpicking
moves
here.
just a little bit, and then she like wakes up, like looks her head up, and sees herself in the mirror instead of the TV, and she's like, "Man, I'm jet lagged." So they're just like, "Fuck it, we're turning it up to 11." The bed
Keep
just starts
cranking
fucking
this shit.
spinning, and she's screaming, and she's like, "I don't sorry, excuse me,
not
I don't
scared
believe
of
in
this."
ghosts."
She tells herself to calm down.
I'm not scared.
No, she
You-
literally
you can
says the
stop
line,
now.
"Excuse me, I don't believe in ghosts,"
Yep.
as if the ghosts who are haunting you are going to be like, "Sorry, we'll leave."
My really good friends,
It's like when you say you don't believe in fairies and they lose a wing, right?
my really
Isn't that what
good
happens to
friends,
Tinkerbell?
Keep clapping.
clap to keep me alive.
Aren't fairies rapists in a series that I've seen before?
Yes.
I guarantee it.
Okay.
So on a very different note, my friend's daughter, when she was 6 years old, I heard her say to him, we were playing Xbox Live, and she walks up and goes, "Dad, I know ghosts aren't real, but they still scare me." And I thought that was the most rational thing I'd ever heard. I'm very aware ghosts aren't real, but I'm still scared down a dark hallway.
If I don't believe in it, it can't hurt me.
Just
Children
like
seeing
God.
people is fucking terrifying.
It just, it cracked me
I
up.
don't think about hell too much until somebody tells me I'm going to go there.
Where are we at in this movie? Have we crossed 20
they're
minutes
still
yet?
seeing we're still seeing all the hauntings. The banshee lady is flying outside the window, and like
Such a camel toe, the poor
brother
thing.
Tom or whatever his name is can't see her. Like
Tom?
what is his brother something with a
Tony?
T?
Yeah,
Tony.
it was
Oh,
Brother
she
Tony.
flies by the window while he's reading.
Yeah, and then he like looks. That's the
Hey,
classic
tap
like
on the glass.
it's the classic missed moment. Like she flies by and he looks and is like, "Oh, that's weird." And then they're like, "Fucking Peter O'Toole's like, do it again, bitch!" Shoves her down. He's like, "Tap on the glass this
No,
time."
he shoves the other guy down on a
Oh,
bucket
yeah, the guy
to
who's
make
the-
her go.
Yeah, because the other guy's the counterweight. So
Yeah.
he shoves him off to make her fly off. And then she's like, "Pay attention, motherfucker!" And like throwing rocks at the window, and he still isn't looking.
Hey, dedication to a character.
And this is when he hears Jennifer Tilly screaming, and he's like, "That
How
sounds
could
like
you
fun."
not? It's
Wait,
a
no.
tone that even a dead dog could hear.
And that's when the real shit starts happening.
Not yet.
Well, not yet.
No, yeah.
Not yet. This is still the fake haunting. Brother,
This is
Oh,
the
that's
first night.
You're right.
brother oregano or whatever.
Brother Tony.
Brother
hears
Giuseppe.
Jennifer Tilly's
Father
character
Minestrone. I'm sorry, he's not a priest yet. Brother Basil.
screaming,
No,
help me, help me, help me. Stop it, stop it, stop it. And he comes barging into the fucking room.
So to like help the bed stop spinning, he jumps on it as if that's gonna do anything. Like you don't weigh that much.
It's
so then they're
Jennifer
both on the
Tilly.
bed.
it's Jennifer Tilly. If I'm going
I'm
out,
jumping.
Yeah, if I'm going out, I'm going out with
Face
Jennifer
first
Tilly.
in the muff.
We got to go with the fact that early on when they first met, it was that aspect of he was on his pilgrimage or whatever the fuck, and she was giving up
you're
guys
right.
after
She says,
bad
she
boyfriend.
says, like, what are you, a priest? He goes, well, I'm taking my vows soon. I want to do this so I can, like, take my vows. And she goes, I have taken a little vow myself to stay away from men. Well, at least for a little while. Here's
That's
the
not
keeping
nearly
up.
annoying
one of
enough.
those,
I'm trying.
B stories.
Do a Fran
or-
Drescher, but high pitched.
I'm taking my vows also.
Here's the keeping our vows.
But she's
I can't be
she's-
sultry like her.
She
though.
is soaking for this dude.
We go back to the Goot and D'Angelo, and they're arguing in their bedroom as
falls
they
for
always
it.
are. And he sees all the shit happening outside the windows. He sees the projection. She's not paying any attention.
mirror
and so he like jumps on top of her to save
Not only
her.
is she not paying attention, this is the least amount of attention you could pay. She has Valium and a night mask. Like, you are looking to not pay attention at that point in life.
He jumps on top of her, and she's just like, "We're not gonna fuck," and like shoves him off.
told
And he's
you.
like, "No, there's ghosts." And she's like, "Uh huh."
You were gonna try to-
Real good
Likely
excuse.
story. That's the worst excuse I've
What
ever
a
heard.
poor excuse.
She's like, "My
many
first
people try
boyfriend
to
used
fuck
that
me
one.
after
I'm not gonna
ghosts."
fall for it again." Chevy Chase used that one on me twice.
God damn you, Sparky.
I don't think he was calling them ghosts, though. It's a different racist word, man. If it came out of Chevy Chase's mouth, it was something real terrible.
I'm sure it was.
Let's do some word association. I'll
No.
stop there.
All right.
Not with Chevy Chase, you won't.
Well, I mean, that's
The haunted armor is like now covered in lingerie, and it's like chasing that lady around in the hallways. And
slowly following
Malcolm
her.
comes like, or
Don't
it
come
goes-
after my children.
Yeah, it goes into Malcolm and
Think of
Marge's
the
room,
children.
and he starts trying to sword fight it. Like he chases it into the hallway and starts sword fighting it.
Oh, he doesn't try and sword fight, pal. This guy is a, what did you call him? A parapsycho. He's a psychiatrist for ghosts.
Parapsychologist.
So he's a psychiatrist
He's-
for ghosts that can sword fight like a motherfucker. Like, this guy's holding his own with his suit of armor. Is like, kids, get behind me. And just throwing out moves. And...
He's Peter Venkman. He's a
Apparently,
parapsychologist.
he fenced.
Wait,
in
Peter
another
Venkman,
lifetime?
wasn't he looking for a ghost blowjob?
But he was a no. That was
Co-captain of the fencing team.
That was Ray.
Ray. There you go.
Yeah.
I was like, I can think of his real name, but not his movie name. Ray Stantz.
I'm only movie names. Dan Aykroyd doesn't exist. Ray Stanton, my guy.
The judge in that one movie with the penis nose.
Nothing but trouble.
Oh, nothing but
Thank
trouble.
Yeah.
Guy was gonna bug the shit out of me.
Oh, I think anybody listening to a movie podcast would know penis nose judge. I would hope so.
1,000%.
I don't need the third word. You just-
Penis nose, Dan Aykroyd?
Yeah. Nothing but trouble. Everything starts falling apart. Like all their like illusions are crumbling. The best part is
It's almost like they made him up in like 2 days and they didn't pan out.
and the
the
best
weirdest
part
fucking
though is
thing.
like this fucking castle is made out of stone. This bed gets dropped and just starts breaking through all the levels of the fucking castle, and it's just the worst. I love a dummy. Everybody here knows I love a dummy.
Oh my god, this
But you
model
got this model
reenactment.
bed with these little like Barbie dummies in it, and it's
Oh, they're
dropping
Barbies.
through the
Jack
floors.
called it out. He's like, holy shit,
That's
that's,
a
Ken and
Barbie.
Barbie.
Yeah, just
Yep.
stiff arms. Just it's supposed to be the fucking father or brother Gallagher and Jennifer Tilly.
But also, they did a really good job at making
Brother
it
Gallagher.
look real life.
Please, from now on.
They did do a good job on like camera angles on that because
of Watermelon.
if you weren't looking at the models in the bed,
None of that
it
shit.
looked pretty real. Like if you weren't looking at the quote
You
unquote
couldn't see
people,
the arms
Yeah.
couldn't see the
or the faces.
table.
Well, and I'll say
It was
this.
like literally a bed going through the ceiling.
Well,
and
the
floor.
bus also had some model work.
I
that
think
they
I'll,
did,
I
and-
think I'll say this for every 80s thing. I will take a bad dummy over a bad CGI
1,000%.
any fucking day of the week. I mean, at least you got somebody trying. These models look... A bad model looks better than bad CGI.
Yes.
Is the best way I can say it.
Praise to the
Like, it's
video
just...
lord.
Yeah,
I don't know.
go back and check out our Fantastic Four Rise of the Surfer episode.
Oh, God.
So how many times have you watched
Silver
a movie?
Surfer episode to hear how fucking much we hate
Terrible.
that CG.
You don't have to get angry about mentioning the podcast you got angry about, Phil.
But how many times have you watched a movie and been like, seeing the like driving scene where the guy is actually wearing a helmet and then it cuts back to the actor not wearing a helmet? I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, that happened in Laser Blast. It was very prominent in Laser Blast. It's happened a lot of times, but it was very prominent in Laser Blast. This guy, all of a sudden, this character is wearing a cowboy hat, and he's not wearing the whole movie. And then when they cut to the outside shot of this crash happening, it's because this guy has a helmet on with the cowboy hat on it, so it's supposed to, like, hide it. But they chose a white helmet.
So it's
So it's just a white globe now wearing a cowboy hat.
They couldn't put just like they couldn't glue like a rim and a thing.
Well, if
on
you just
the
put
helmet?
a black helmet on the fucking guy and then put the hat on top of it, at least from a distance you just see. And these aren't meant to be watched in HD.
yeah, pre-HD.
But from a distance you just see the hat, and you don't see anything. A white helmet sticks out for hundreds, thousands of feet.
Hey, this is way in the time before, when they cared about safety instead of, blanks and guns that kill people and shit. Okay, let's.
Hey, I mean that's happened a lot of times.
Well, exactly. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying.
Talking about
This is
Rust
when
or the
they're
Crow.
like, they didn't
Yes.
think about realism. They were like, no, fuck this. Keep this guy safe. He's gonna, drive on two wheels. Not in this movie, but I mean, still.
No,
you know.
yeah, but with the helmets and the whatnot. So the
bright
bed,
white
the bed
helmets.
hits like a bottom floor and comes rolling down the stairs. And when it gets to the bottom, it rolls down the stairs and it comes flying down towards Peter O'Toole and just fucking. I'm pretty sure that he wasn't supposed to get wiped out because the shot they have is almost 100% that's Peter O'Toole.
Looks just like him getting leveled by a fucking bed. Just getting
Like
leveled.
everybody knew but Peter O'Toole that it was gonna take him out.
No, I think he was just too drunk. He was supposed. They were like, we have marks on the ground.
Peter, you gotta move, man.
That's how I know.
And
he
he
got
was
hurt.
just like, he's like, what's this bloody bed doing? Bam!
It's coming at me at an alarming rate. It shows him in two different angles, like one getting him getting hit by the bed, where it shows his legs getting thrown up, and the next is him on the bed crashing into the front of something. They both look like Peter
that's
O'Toole.
100%
There was a dummy
him.
in the middle there somewhere for Peter O'Toole. But
No,
the part
there
where they're
was
hitting the
not.
fence, the part where they're hitting the
you know
fence.
how drunk people don't get killed in drunk driving accidents because they just go limber like that.
How
They're
Gary
like,
Doobie
we
does all
got
of his
him.
own stunts.
yep.
He did all of his own motorcycle stunts. You saw that turned out.
Oh god.
So Malcolm, the lawyer.
I went dark and you went darker.
I just like how
Welcome
we were
to my
going
world.
on Derek's dummy detection a moment ago too. He's like, yeah, you see a dummy here, but at the
I
same
love
time,
dummies. So Malcolm, the lawyer from Jurassic Park, not from this movie.
Gennaro.
The parapsychologist.
There were no lawyers in this movie.
I will always 100%. Now that you like, I was like, who the fuck? Why do I know him?
It took
Less
me a
hair.
second,
And as soon
too.
as you said Jurassic Park, I was like, the lawyer.
We saw him get eaten while taking a shit.
He got bit in half.
was he taking a shit or just
No,
hiding
he
on the
wasn't.
toilet?
He wasn't.
No,
I just,
he ran in there to
Terrified in
hide.
the toilet.
in
yes.
my fan fiction, though, he's like, "Well, I'm gonna die, and I'm not dying.
I'm not gonna shit my
rewrite
pants.
this.
Absolutely.
I'm not gonna shit my pants when I die like everybody else. I'm gonna sit on the toilet and die dignified like Elvis.
Yep. Yep. If you want dignity, die like Elvis. I've always said that.
If you die, I'll still believe you're alive somewhere, just in hiding. Don't worry.
He went home, man.
So he says he's gonna expose them for being frauds or whatever, and Peter O'Toole goes into this quote
woe
emotional
me.
speech.
Drunk rant.
Yeah, I did write drunk rant, but it's an emotional drunk rant where he's talking about like, these people have lived here and this is our home. and we need to
Brogans.
whatever. There's this like orchestral music playing that sounds like it was stolen straight from a Disney animated film.
Ooh, might have been.
Nah, this is as
been.
good as it's gonna get. Keep playing.
This is how much they love the castle or whatever. He mentions Jim Brogan is the one who holds the lease, and
Dun dun dun.
Guttenberg right
Guttenberg
away.
is like, wait, and then afterwards he's like, well, Jim Brogan's my father-in-law, and everybody turns to Beverly D'Angelo and they're like, you're Jim Brogan's daughter, and it's like fucking Night of the Living Dead. Like, we're gonna shred this woman apart, and she's like, no, it's not my fault. My dad, I don't know, just hates people or some shit, and like.
He feels it.
She was kind of sent to sabotage it.
She says that. I don't think she was into sabotage. They say that to her, But she says, my dad needed me to come check out this ghost business. Were you sitting here to sabotage us? No, you did that on your own.
When he was on the phone with, Mr. Brogan earlier, like he was making the whole aspect of, what, you said I should run this place like a theme park or some shit like that?
I'm glad we're saying Brogan because it's about to come up again. And I
comes up numerous times.
In all the ways.
In all the ways. Brogan's going to be problematic.
So Peter O'Toole and the Goot are getting hammered.
The Goot.
And this is that scene I was saying I don't think was supposed to be drunk at first. Because Peter O'Toole is clearly really drunk. And he pulls out like this secret booze that's hidden behind the wall.
His
in a rope.
Daddy's brew.
Daddy's special brew.
I think he says father.
As long as we didn't
D'Angelo
say
says daddy.
again.
I think he says my father's special
No,
brew.
he says it's
Okay,
Daddy's
there's
special brew.
there's a couple different types of people in this world that can say daddy and not sound creepy. Really rich white girls. That's Beverly D'Angelo. And old school Europeans.
It's only not
Peter
creepy if those
O'Toole.
really rich white girls are saying it to their father.
No,
They say it to like their sugar daddies and stuff. It's weird. But
As
you
a-
wouldn't know if you don't know them. You see them in public, you're like, oh, that's her father.
as somebody that wishes they had enough money to be a sugar daddy.
Bang, bang.
I'm like a sweet and low papa.
So the Goot stumbles into the wrong
You want
suite.
Sugar daddy, you go to the fucking drugstore and buy one of those things.
Oh, yeah.
And-
He's super drunk after
Yeah,
drinking.
he's hammered. This place is covered in spider
Dude,
webs.
you try and
and
keep up with
dirt.
Peter O'Toole.
He's all prepared to like tell his wife off about how she's a penguin bitch or some
She's
shit.
a fucking cunt.
When he comes into this room, he's like, it wouldn't be so fucking hard to say I love you or whatever. And it's
Three
like this-
words that cost nothing to say.
And while he's doing that, he hears this woman come in, and she's like, whatever. And it's Darryl Hannah playing whatever the fuck, Mary Plunkett,
Dead Mary, which he
who is the
found
great
out about earlier.
grand cousin of Peter O'Toole.
If you
Which,
say
by the way,
so.
you don't say great grand
Peter
cousin.
Plunkett.
Yeah.
It's like your seventh cousin 9 times removed or some shit.
You would say like distant family.
Yeah.
Done. Wrap it up.
She comes in and she's like running from something, and he's like, "Oh, hey, the show's still going. Neat."
Oh, he's hammered
You
his
don't
shit.
need
He's
to-
hammered his shit.
And
Looks
then,
really good though.
and then fucking Qui-Gon Jinn comes running in.
I've got a particular set of skills. It's stabbing a woman
Ethan
over and over.
And here I'm like, he looks really familiar.
Oh,
Who
that's
the fuck
right.
is this guy?
That's right. Your wife says,
yeah.
"How do I know this guy?
It's
Who's
Liam
that
fucking
actor?"
Neeson.
You mean Liam Neeson's? Hell yeah, it's Liam
fucking
Neeson's.
Liam Neeson's.
Oh, is that
Yeah,
right?
but he's like fucking 12. No, I mean, he's like in his 20s
He's
or
like
30s.
23.
But he looks like a fucking babby compared to what we've seen.
Yes.
What?
he
a
does
babby.
look.
Babby.
A little
He
Bobby.
looks like a fucking
You know
babby.
what a
Oh,
babby
little
is.
Sorry,
babby.
not fucking. He looks like
You've
a
only
fucking
had
babby.
5 of them.
Oh, in this movie, he's trying to be fucking.
I'm pretty sure he's the only fucking, the only
all look like
feckin'
you.
actor in this movie who's Irish. I mean,
don't-
Peter O'Toole is probably
I feel like
historically Irish,
Liam
but-
Neeson is in real life is Scottish.
Is he?
I feel like he
I feel like
is.
he's Irish.
Oh, is that right? I've
not
got a particular
working
set
on
of
it.
He
skills.
sounds just like that.
Let's find out.
I don't know.
All right, well, keep talking. I love
Liam
it.
is a
Talk
pretty
about
fucking
leprechaun
Irish
talking
name.
like that for a while.
So he's watching this happen. Liam Neeson is chasing down fucking.
He's Irish as fuck.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He sounds Irish as fuck.
Mary.
You're not
Fucking
wrong.
told you.
You're not wrong.
I want to watch. Okay. I want to watch a good movie. Sorry. So, Darryl
Wait,
Hannah.
hold on. Which one?
I want to watch Banshees of Inisherin
Banshees?
again.
I knew you were gonna
He
fucking
sees-
say it.
Dude, these Irish voices. So he sees Liam Neeson trying to rape Darryl Hannah. That's what it seems like at first.
It seems like it. Yes.
But later
okay.
on, we realize that he's like just struggling with her. And he's mad at her. They're already married or they're getting married.
He's mad
It's
that
their
she's
wedding
tupping.
night. No, we've
Yes.
already been told it's their wedding night, and
She wants to
was
tup
murdered
someone
because
else.
no, he murdered her because he thought she was cheating on him already when he
what I
was
just
the
said.
one that was
Tupping. That's
She-
what Derek said.
He thought she was
Tupping.
tupping someone else. They keep saying tupping instead of fucking because it's PG.
Oh.
Tupping
Or making love.
Tupping is the it's
Ugh. Goot keeps saying making love, and it's like, well, maybe you could fuck your wife if you quit saying making love all the
yeah,
time.
absolutely. Whoa, we're not gonna make love tonight. No, we're gonna fuck.
But like he's
I'm gonna
watching.
say right now, you've never said, "Hey, let's make love." We
Let's
don't
make
have
love.
a bad sex life.
So he's watching Darryl Hannah potentially get raped, and he's just like, "Hey, wow, this act's real good." Oh, hey,
Oh,
look,
he's
those
got a great
those
line.
look like real bruises.
Looks good.
Why didn't you
Looks
pull
good.
this shit
Looks
out
rough,
earlier?
but it looks good.
Yeah, Little rough, little
And
rough.
then, yeah, Patrick, why didn't you do this earlier? You could have saved the show, I think. This is looking
then-
really good.
And then Liam Neeson stabs the shit out of Darryl Hannah, and he's like, "Holy fuck, you murdered that girl!" And they don't see him, they don't hear him, they are not paying any attention. And he's crying. Neeson's crying over fucking Darryl Hannah, and he's like, "What did I do?"
And then Neeson
why did you make
walks
me
And then
do
he
this?
and then he immediately stands up and leaps to the next universe. Like this effect of him going through his loop, it's just this blue shine.
Blue shine keyhole.
Yeah, and it's like, is that what Sam needed to do to get to the next one? It's always something good. It's like, stop racism, fucking solve problems in this town, stop this girl from getting murdered. And this one, it's like, no, stab that chick.
I checked with Ziggy. You're gonna have to stab your soon-to-be wife.
Fucking what's his name? Dean, whatever. I don't remember the character's name. His real name is Dean something. Yeah, he's like, yeah, I was big cigar checking with
Checking with Ziggy.
checking with Ziggy, and he says you're gonna have to stab this chick.
This bitch needs to die.
He's like, no, you
daily.
keep telling me that every time we leap. You
People
tell me I
that
need
don't
to fall.
understand what we're talking about is a Quantum Leap reference,
Well, they
by the
should.
way. You should.
Sorry, I've been watching
Is
Quantum
that Scott
Leap.
Baklava? Are we talking
Yes.
Scotty Bax?
Scott Bakula,
Right.
Baklava.
Oh,
You want a
Scotty
good movie
Baklava's
with
not a
him?
real person? Oh, I need his restaurant, though.
And then the haunting starts over again. Like, apparently this just repeats all night, every night for 200 years. He, like, jumps in front of the knife the second time, and he can't get stabbed because it's a ghost knife,
But
even
he
though...
keeps thinking he's getting stabbed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you got me!
Oh, my breath!
But then later on,
This is how it ends!
the ghosts could just touch people, and at this point, they'd go through people.
Okay,
They
so...
can decide when they can touch people.
Well, no, I think we're getting closer to All Hallows Eve.
Yes, that's right.
Well,
Oh,
not
by
just
the way,
that, though.
it is October 30th.
At the last scene, when they're all dancing and hanging out in the lobby, they're all touching each other.
That
That's after
is-
Halloween.
Oh,
We call
you're
that a
right.
plot hole, pal.
Oh, okay.
That's a little something called a plot hole or an
They
oversight.
pretend that
But-
they're holding each other, maybe?
So he stands in front of it and gets fake stabbed, and this breaks Darryl Hannah out of the haunting. And
She now can see Stevie
yeah,
Boots.
they can talk to each other, and she freaks out and like disappears or something. And he sees her a little bit, but like she leaves at this point.
Instant love, by the way. Like,
yeah,
he's
he's
just like, oh my god.
Immediately in love with her.
She was
Harps are-
nice to me.
Harps are playing, cherubs are in the air.
There's
Like,
some little fat baby with a diaper shooting you in the butt with an arrow.
Been there. So he goes back to the room.
when you met me, right?
He goes back to the room, and Beverly D'Angelo is sleeping, and he's just sitting there like just drunk ranting at her, and he's like, "Did you ever even love me?" And she just starts snoring.
Come on, you
Oh, wait.
Hey, listen, I got to tell you something. We've never really worked out, have we?
He's just drunk as shit, spitting all this.
Drunk man's words are a sober man's thoughts.
So this isn't when he's trying to kill himself?
Well, it comes
he's
right
about
after
to.
this.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
First,
sorry.
if you're gonna kill yourself, you gotta talk shit to your passed out lover. That's a rule.
I mean...
I don't make him up. I just live by him.
She won't remember this because
Yeah.
I definitely won't.
He's like, "Let's see if this Valium really works." And he goes to take like a fistful of
Oh,
Valium.
yeah, and does she do some
She,
fucking ghost
yeah,
magic?
Daryl Hannah reaches her magic hands out of the fucking mirror and does a thing where it just looks like the caps of the bottles twist.
No, I think that's the effect they had though. Was they would have liked to have them switch pills in bottles, but what do you have the money for? Untwisting caps.
Ghosts at the end of the movie.
Ghosts.
That's where the budget
yeah,
is.
yeah. We'll get to the budget,
So-
I guess.
So, like, she switches the pills and he drinks a bunch of fucking either like vitamin B or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
She
was-
will
it was
mention
a-
her B complex is off.
There you
I thought it was aspirin.
It says something about a supplement. I don't know. It doesn't
tried
matter.
to
So
read
so
the
he kills
labels.
himself in his mind.
Yeah, he wakes up thinking that he's dead, and he starts talking shit to Beverly
She's
D'Angelo.
flossing her teeth in the mirror.
She is just ignoring him too.
He's face right next
Yeah,
to her.
he's like,
It's
"You're a fucking troll, and your teeth are
You-
stupid, and like all
You
this
have
shit,
the
like,
warmth of a penguin on an iceberg.
Yes.
There it is.
That's right. Keep flossing those fucking chompers you're going to chew your next husband up with.
And she gets done flossing and just smacks that dude in the fucking face. Love that
Wait,
shit.
I'm not dead.
You deserve to get smacked, by the way.
Yes.
I don't care if you're a ghost or not. You don't talk shit about people's teeth like that.
Heard.
I mean, also, we're in fucking some European country. She's not the worst teeth here. Come on.
That's when we see the old lady talking to the ghost. So that's her husband. That's Peter
Yes.
O'Toole's mom, and then that's her dad.
The
His
chick
dad.
that looks habitually drunk is
Yeah.
the guy that looks habitually drunk's mom.
Yeah, the woman that looks
Weird
like
how
the
that
witch
works.
from Snow
Everything?
White.
She looks like the witch from everything, dude. She would be a great... If you want to do the Sword in the Stone live action, she is Mad Madam Mim. And she hates sunshine.
Oh, and one of my favorite shots in this is when they're waking up the next morning after all this shit's gone down, and they have one of those rolling desks. So Peter O'Toole has gotten drunk because he's upset about his trick not working, and they have one of those
he
desks.
has no idea that
A
any of
roll-up
this shit has
writing desk.
happened.
Yeah, they have one of those desks with the roll up tops, and one of the chicks working there rolls it up, and Peter O'Toole's passed out in there. And he's just like, rah, 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 and like rolls
we're
it back
like,
down and goes back to sleep. Which
Yep,
again, I'm
that's
pretty
just
sure.
how they found him.
Yeah,
Dude,
found
he
footage.
looks so snug, like just drunkenly snug as a bug. As somebody that's passed out drunkenly in weird places, I wish I could roll myself back up into a desk some nights.
I've
He
never
would make
enjoyed-
it happen for you.
Just like, no, too early, don't talk to me.
So all the Americans say they're leaving the castle, and
What the
they
dad had said, we missed. The dad had said, we're going to give the Americans what they
Who has
want.
never enjoyed a night on their friend's kitchen floor?
Oh my god, he did say that? I didn't
Boring
catch that
people.
part.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The mom kind of chimes in the dad, and it's like, well, here's what's happening. This is why your son is an idiot. They say, our son's an idiot. We've known that for a while. Yeah, but now he's kind of
Okay.
outdone himself.
I missed that. I was thinking like maybe the ghosts were just mad because they were faking ghosts.
No, the dad knows, like, we gotta keep this castle. And if our son thinks that haunting is the way to keep this castle, and he's fucking up haunting, let's fucking Beetlejuice this. Dale!
Dale!
We're about to
Daylight
have a...
come
Daylight
and we won't
come
go
and-
home. All right.
If this movie had Kathleen O'Hara, I'd fucking shit myself. The
enjoyed
lawyer
it.
from Jurassic Park, not having it.
No, yeah, he's trying to hit on Beverly D'Angelo.
But I'm saying, like, it's some of the worst fake hauntings he's ever seen.
Yeah, he's not having the fake hauntings. Yeah, and he goes walking through the lobby, and Beverly D'Angelo's on the phone with her dad.
Daddy.
And she's like, she's saying stuff, and she's talking about how
No. She accidentally took because of that magical exchange between aspirin and Valium when Guttenberg thought he took the Valium, but he
Oh, the
only took
next
the
morning,
aspirin.
yeah.
So this is the next morning where she's like, I have such a migraine. And so she takes 3 aspirin, but ends up taking 3 Valiums.
Yeah, so
she
she's
thinks-
fucked up, but she's at this point. I don't think she's fucked up yet. She's talking to her dad though, and she's like,
I
"He
sound
said I have
weird.
buck teeth, and he said this and that, and there's all this stuff I'm really sensitive about."
But she says, like, Daddy, I sound weird because I'm upset.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
not on
'cause of the
mushrooms.
It's not the Valium. I'm just upset. I'm not being irrational. I'm being emotional.
And Malcolm, Jurassic Park lawyer, there tries to hit on her because she's like, "He said I had the warmth of a penguin on an iceberg," and he's like, penguins are actually pretty
I don't
warm.
think he's trying to hit on her. He literally puts
tried-
his hands on her head and he's like, "Well, no, like you're not cold, and people don't realize that like you have to be really warm to sit on top of an iceberg."
Yeah,
Which is a
and then they
valid
make
point.
out,
And then she makes out with him, and then
he doesn't stop her.
I know, but it is funny that she instigates the makeout and then 2-3 seconds in slaps him and she's like, "How dare you? What kind of woman do you think I am?"
Yeah. So all the people are leaving because it's a fucking ruse or whatever. They're all getting on the boat. All the Americans.
Yep.
The goat is leaving, and Darryl Hannah appears and starts talking to him, and she's like, "This is when I realized she was supposed to have an Irish accent." Like,
It's not good.
No, the whole movie I did not realize she had an Irish accent, that she was doing one until she says the line like, "I'll be in your debt for eternity, sir."
Because before that, it's like a soft whisper.
Yeah,
Oh, Jack.
and
You there.
Sir Jack.
I'll be your dad forever. Sir Jack.
yeah, then all throughout she's just like,
your accent is 1,000 times better than Darryl Hannah's has been in this entire movie.
she'll literally in the middle of a sentence, one word will be very Irish, and the rest of the sentence is just
It's very
American.
Norman Reedus and Boondock Saints. So like Sean Patrick Flannery, I think, kills that accent.
I mean,
and
his name is
Norman's
Sean Patrick Flannery.
Right. Oh, that guy's got a good Irish accent. That's weird. Weird as folk right there. But
Everybody's
Norman
Irish
Reedus
tonight.
comes in and out, and that's what Darryl Hannah is. I love Darryl Hannah. This is a terrible fucking accent.
Yeah.
I know. Splash.
Oh, splash.
Sploosh.
So speaking of Splash, she disappears, and it looks like she starts blowing Steve Guttenberg because all this wind starts blowing through the hallways.
I'm so up for a fucking ghost relationship that when you break up, you get blown.
Which it turns out doesn't have anything to do with her. It's the other ghosts, like, kicking shit up.
But it
as
does very
she's
much seem like
fading-
her. It
yeah.
seems like, oh, you're scorning me.
Yeah.
You
know?
don't realize that what the ghosts are trying to actually make a ghost phenomenon.
She disappears and the wind starts, so it looks like it's her. And that was my first thought was, so they broke up and she blew him?
Yeah.
Because I'm an
Lucky.
adult. And all this stuff's blowing around the place. Guttenberg gets blown out the front doors, and you see the wires off on him on his harness.
Easily. Like we were barely looking, and these wires are right there.
They weren't ropes like the other scenes in this movie, but they weren't that far
I think
off.
the wires were second built in this movie. Like it was Steve Guttenberg, wires, Beverly DeAnge.
I'm sure they put Peter O'Toole first because he's the famous one.
Well,
They're all kind of
where
famous.
he was there.
The wind like blows so hard it blows all the pieces off the car, and all the Americans are in the car. And it starts blowing off all their clothes, and like the priest is sitting there, and he's still got his like chest part on that they
And
do
Beverly
that weird like
D'Angelo,
collar, like weird
high as shit.
apron thing they wear.
That's exactly what it's called, actually.
Is it?
No, apron thing.
Yeah.
when you go to Catholic school, like, oh, make sure the priest has a clean apron thing.
Yeah, he's got his little neck swappy and his apron thing.
I want to read that book, dude.
Too easily. Too easy.
Yeah, so D'Angelo looks behind her and she's like, oh, it looks like they didn't drive all the snakes out of Ireland. And he's like, huh? And like takes his apron and covers his junk.
Everybody's outer clothes, which is why we get to where we are.
Not
with
underclothes, just outer clothes.
Just outer
How do we
clothes.
get our PG rating?
Because, dude, I was just
because
gonna say,
there's
if this
layers
is
of underclothes.
if this is first of all, if this is PG-13, sexier underwear. If this is rated R, nerps.
nerves. I'm in
So-
for the nerves.
The goat lands in the middle of the woods.
We know you are.
And he sees there's this white horse standing there, and Whitney pointed out, this is why you don't use male horses in movies, because this horse is standing there and his cock is just flopping.
There's some side cock.
It is definitely a flaccid horsecock, but it's just flopping in the
I was
fucking
gonna
breeze.
say there's some hard horse cock, but I meant like it goes hard in the paint.
No,
that,
yeah.
that horse cock is soft,
He's full Viggo Mortensen. Like,
but it is.
It's
Oh
soft, but
yeah,
it's
bat
flapping.
fight.
White
Yeah.
stallion.
I would like to tell you I don't know the name of this horse, but fuck, we know.
We know the name of this horse.
We know his name
So
is...
Classic Irish name.
We cut. Yes, it's the most classic Irish name. We cut to another angle, and I was like,
Joe Smith. Of
my
White
first
Horses.
thought before the horse moved, it just cut to this shot of like it's Goot's face and the horse. I was like, that is an ugly horse.
And it went to puppet horse.
And then it started talking, like its lips move and its teeth. It's just like, hi there, fucking
Say, is your name Jack?
yeah. And he's just like, yeah. Like you don't really see anything. The puppet horse doesn't come back. I mean, the horse comes back kind of. The puppet
Yeah.
horse doesn't. I was like, that should be a thing. That was great. You built a fucking puppet head. But when he shows up back at the castle, he's like, no, well, me and Ronaldo here, we're just coming back. And you're like,
Ronaldo.
Ray Naldo.
I gotta assume that Steve Guttenberg was just like, well, the horse, and they didn't give him a name. Insert horse name here. He's like, Ronaldo. Of course, we're in Ireland, or maybe are we in Ireland? We never say.
Peter O'Toole says something about the Emerald Isle as well.
Okay,
So.
but either way, I don't care what part of Europe you're from. That is a colonizer state. Ronaldo is not a name from there.
No.
The horse is super white.
Horse is super white.
So maybe they got him from Spain. So of course his name would be Ronaldo.
I thought it was going to be a thing where like a ghost was inhabiting the horse. But I think it was just supposed to be a joke that his bell was so rung that like he saw the horse talking. 'Cause
So
it
it's
never
not
comes
that
back.
it's not that I want it, but this movie does not do a good job of explaining ghost rules. Like
No,
I really
there's no
don't. I
rules.
don't.
Not even a little bit.
I don't really care to have this universe expanded upon, where some things I'm like, tell me how it works. I'm
My
like,
Spirits
no,
2,
we're-
Infinity War.
Higher Spirits. I would actually watch Higher Spirits with Method Man and Redman.
I feel like I've seen that movie.
It's
There's-
called How High.
That was How High.
Definitely love that.
And
Where
they
Ben
would
Franklin
do
made the
very
world's
well
first.
in Ireland.
Ben Franklin made the world's first bong.
Well, yeah.
Wasn't it
Spoilers
canon?
for How High. They thought it was a cannon.
Yeah, I won't remember.
Ended up being a bong.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
All the
silhouette.
Americans are now going back into the house and they're trying to cover themselves. So Beverly D'Angelo's in this like lampshade
Giant
from a
lampshade.
giant
And
lamp.
she is wearing that lampshade. Like,
But you're right. It's
Yes.
an absurdly large lampshade.
It
that's
fits Beverly D'Angelo comfortably.
with some space
It
for
looks
me.
like a dress from like they sound like Lady Gaga or like Bjork would wear.
yes, 1,000%. That's where I think that's where they got that from. Their,
I
know,
don't think either of them existed yet. I mean,
they,
I'm sure they were born, but they
were
weren't,
born,
like,
and
They
they
important.
saw
grew
that
up
and
watching
they're like,
this Playboy.
That's
they were
where got
like,
it
you
from.
know what? I'm wearing that to the Golden Globes.
Bjork
Thank
just
you.
wants to be Beverly D'Angelo.
She's an Iceland princess. Of course she wants
Wait,
to be
which
Beverly.
one?
Bjork is an
Okay,
Iceland
just
princess.
checking. Because Beverly D looks like one.
The Gallagher, the priest, is trying to pull. He has like a fake toga on, made out of like a fucking curtain.
Oh,
and he's
Peter
like trying
Gallagher
to pull
looks
it over
great
his
in
junk.
this.
Yeah, he's got very little to do, but he's trying to like he's trying to pull this over his junk. It's very like it's a physical gag because I think Beverly D'Angelo makes a comment and he's like adjust that.
He's just smuggling serpents inside with that tunic.
Slippery smuggling serpent.
Now Malcolm is wearing the armor or some armor to cover his naughty bits and his rest of his body.
I think we saw when the maid or whoever it is got found out, he had this chest piece.
Yeah.
And this is what he's wearing now.
Didn't he, Peter O'Toole, give it to him as kind of a consolation that...
I don't
Oh,
know.
I think he shoved it back in his face. I think he
after the
shoved
whole
it back in
thing
his
of him
face.
talking shit about, oh, this is the worst haunting ever, and he's like, yeah, here, take this, or some bullshit.
He's wearing the armor and he walks out the door. He's like, "Fuck this, we're getting out of here." Like I'm not staying here another
I would
night.
rather walk in this armor in this storm for X amount of distance than stay here one more night. Well, he
Yeah.
takes 2 steps out this fucking
Love
castle.
how you turn it into a math equation.
He's immediately struck by lightning, and everybody's like, "Oh shit, what's going on?" And like he gets knocked down this thing, and they're like, "Are you okay?" And he's just not moving. This guy has a lot of physical comedy and a lot of like physical
Attempts.
gags, but they're not good. He doesn't have the
Attempts.
timing. He doesn't have the skill.
I don't know this actor's name, and I think that's for a reason.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna fault him for giving it, but like, man, it's not working. His body language isn't working. His delivery isn't working, and I think you mentioned it. I don't care who mentioned it. Ernest P. Worrell.
Yes, he
Give me
looks
some
like
fucking
it would
Varney,
be better if
man.
it was Jim Varney playing
Jim
this
Varney.
character.
Give me some Jim Varney doing this. Somebody, when he sticks his butt out, that butt goes way out. When his hair is fried with electricity and he's making a kind of face, I'm laughing.
Yeah,
This
Maybe
is
Brendan
not laughing.
Fraser with fucking electric hair.
a little
yeah,
too early. I
yeah,
think.
a little too early.
I mean, yes, but
I'm not gonna ever fault you for wanting Brendan Fraser in every movie
thank you.
because that
Think about
is
chicks and
that is what we
horses.
call the dream.
So, like, Lord of the Rings was great, but you know what would have been a lot better? if Brendan Fraser played Sauron.
Golf clap.
Can I tell you the story of how the orcs came to be?
The Goot finds Darryl Hannah out in the woods, like, praying at a tree or something.
Yeah, putting like charms
Because
on the
now
tree.
he can see her because Ronaldo led him there. This movie makes so much sense. Listen to this.
Perfect sense.
How did you get here?
So she
Ghost
explains...
horse?
Oh, Ronaldo took me here, and then she has this like face like, who the fuck is Ronaldo?
You know, you know Ronaldo if you're a spirit. He gets around.
I mean,
Became
with a dick
glue.
like
He
that.
sticks us together.
That horse cock... Wait. So we find out, which we pretty much clearly already knew, that Martin thought she was tupping someone else, and so that's why he killed her.
Can't top anybody
Oh,
else, man.
that's something we didn't go over. There's tupping is sex with a ghost. Squelching?
no.
Tupping is just
Tupping
like
is
for
to
fucking.
capitulate.
Yeah.
Regular.
Squelching is
Fornication.
farting. And then what is?
Squishing.
Oh, squishing is farting, and then squelching.
Oh, let's start over real quick.
Scalping.
So we have squishing,
Squishing is farting.
scalping,
Is when like a ghost walks through you and you're like, oh my god, that's an orgasm.
and then
waiting to
tupping
happen.
is
Is
essentially
actual
to
sex.
just have some sex. That's the words we're dealing with right now.
Yeah.
Because it's PG.
And this is
Well,
a
and,
vocab
English,
lesson.
like England English.
Oh, I think shagging is the word we're dealing with because of PG.
Shagging is instead of fucking.
These other words we're dealing with are very OE.
Yeah.
But fucking is
Oh,
as an adjective, not a verb.
I mean, OE like the 40s, by the way.
We see her terrible weave or wig here.
Oh, there's a net under her hair.
You can see the net in her hair. It's fucking terrible. I'm like, Darryl Hannah had blonde hair, didn't she? Like it was.
But I wonder if there's a role she's doing where she couldn't have this long of hair, because it is.
Because she was like, I'm not changing my hair for this fucking movie.
It's Lady Godiva, long blonde hair.
Your budget did not go to me.
This is where Beverly D'Angelo's in the shower and it's blocked, it's PG. But Liam Neeson's like, just appears. I'm trying to think of a word.
Manifests?
Like, materializes.
Materializes is great.
Manifest works because he's a ghost.
But I like materializing more because he's touching her.
It looks
manifesting just coming to be.
Yeah.
Materializing, because we don't know this yet, but because we're close to All Hallows Eve, he's able to and tub her from behind.
Yeah, and he starts like rubbing her and stuff, and she's like, "Oh, Jack," which doesn't make any sense because she's hated him.
She's hated Jack this entire fucking movie.
Yeah.
Which, if I have to hear one more woman be upset with a dude named Jack, I'm gonna lose it.
That's what I've spent my whole life doing.
I'm trying to use movies for escapes.
If I hear one more woman being upset that her husband is trying to be romantic with her, go fuck yourself.
She doesn't like him. That's why.
She hates him.
And when we go
Second
into
honeymoon
now, we're
was
starting to
just
see the real
horrendous.
hauntings. That's why, like, Liam Neeson appears in her shower and starts
Yep.
rubbing her. We go to Martin and Marge's room, and his hair is still smoking, which is like his only funny bit in the whole movie.
It's a good practical effect. There's
It
smoke
really
rolling
is.
off this straight up, like, I don't know, like young Einstein sticking
Yahoo
out
Serious.
hair. Yahoo Serious style hair.
And he's got like one of those little fucking, those things they put on the roof that spin to keep the birds off. It's
Yeah.
like- that's what it looks like, his little ghost detector, but it's also like an old school vibrator. Like this side spins and this side vibrates.
It's the
like a
fanciest
metal
weather
detector.
vane you've
yeah,
ever seen.
it starts spinning, and he's like, "Oh, that means there's something." He's like,
Something about
"Something
the paper-
smells weird."
And the paper turning blue, a blue hue or whatever they
Yeah, it's
use.
all signs of
has
ghosts.
5 sheets of paper
Yeah.
hanging up that are all the same color of
I
blue.
didn't understand that part.
You
It's
don't
just a
have to.
ghost
It's
thing.
like, oh my god, the blue paper
You were a
turned purple.
ghost expert, you know.
Yeah,
It's ghost science.
Yeah, it's
so I
ghost
can't say
science.
beep
Science.
So like
Sure.
boo. I don't know.
It's boo boo science.
bee-boo science. There's no peas.
Blueberry.
And there's no peas when you're dealing with ghosts.
Oh, it
it's just
tastes
bee-boo.
like blueberry. Now I get it.
And she's like-
tastes like snozzberry.
And he says it smells like something's up, and she's like, "Yeah, it smells like burnt rubber." He's like, "No, that's me, but it smells like something else."
And
It's-
then leaves.
It's the best that this has been for this actor in this role.
Correct.
I just wrote down gymnastic ghost.
Okay, hold on. Elaborate on that if you can,
I
man.
want more.
This is when he goes to look for ghosts, and then all the real hauntings are happening. And I wrote gymnastic ghost, and I feel like I was like, that'll make sense.
God, I wish you would make more sense with it because I watched the same movie you did.
Oh, the TV. The kids are
Oh,
watching.
yeah, that's right. The
Okay.
gymnastics TV.
No.
Yeah, the kids are watching
Aerobics
not
ghost.
aerobics.
There we
Yes,
go.
that's-
Aerobics
Aerobics.
goes.
I wrote gymnastic. That's why I was confused.
Get your Jack Petty fetishes right, man.
That's why I
I'm
was
sorry, who's
confused.
Jack Petty?
Just a
Some
weird
guy.
guy you don't want to know.
With a
Yeah.
customer service smile.
That's what it was.
And
It
a
was the
black
aerobics.
heart.
They're watching an aerobics video, and like one of the kids is like, "This is fucking dumb," and throws a book at the TV, and it goes into the TV. And the
I
lady
like
catches
this
it.
effect.
Yeah, that looks.
This is by the way the beginning of the good
The
part
real-
of this
yeah.
movie. This movie has kind of been boring.
Yeah.
Like we've
Well, yeah.
all
This is
We're
an
about
hour
into the
movie.
movie.
That's
and
the
then
problem
now
with this
we're
movie.
like, oh my god, it's amazing right
I think
now.
I said to Derek, because I'm watching this with you guys after kind of recommending it, if we didn't say that. And
What do
I'm
you
like,
mean, kind of?
and I thought, why did I recommend this movie? It's not very good as I'm watching it with you. And then this kicks in.
Yeah,
And
the
it's like,
first
oh
part
shit, we're about to
sucks.
have some fun.
Yeah, like there's a couple funny gags, but mostly it's just a bunch of setup and it's boring. And then we get to the
It
last third of the movie, and
It
everything
leans on
happens,
Steve Guttenberg being a lead actor,
which he isn't.
and he's not.
No. Unless he's killing lava tarantulas.
Is he batteries?
You know,
is he batteries not
Short Circuit.
included?
Yeah, I think so.
No,
I know he's
no,
Short
no,
Circuit.
I think he is. He in batteries?
I don't
not
think he's in
included?
batteries not included. I know he's in short.
Not in
Circuit.
Cocoon.
He is in
No,
Cocoon.
he is in
Okay,
Cocoon.
yeah,
Yes.
okay. Cocoon's what I'm thinking of. The guy is a staple of my life. But anyway,
Yeah, same. I
as
grew
much
up
as
with a goot.
as much as I love Steve Guttenberg, this first hour
of this
Hour
hour of
of
this
this-
97-minute movie.
Yeah, the first hour of this movie is leaning way too
Yeah.
much on Guttenberg and not giving other people enough to do. Beverly D'Angelo could do more.
Peter O'Toole stuck out in this movie.
Peter O'Toole's
just
doing
his
great.
monologue, I guess you want to
No
call
matter
it.
how drunk he is, he's still pretty phenomenal.
I think we could all just enjoy him talking for a long fucking
Well,
time.
I'm gonna say Beverly
Talking,
D'Angelo.
looking like Willem Dafoe's father. I mean,
I'm gonna say that Beverly D'Angelo was not in this movie that much because she was like the biggest star, American star at least at this point.
Yeah.
And I feel like they got her for the name, and they were like, "Here's this much money," and she's like, "Yeah, I'll do 20 for 3 minutes."
Yep. You have me on set for 4 fucking days, dude.
Yeah.
Use that how you will.
Yeah.
well, we're
So,
gonna have you take some pills. I was gonna do that shit anyway.
I brought my own
that was
Valium.
also that was just a Peter O'Toole scene. You know, they just
Fake
walked in
Valium?
on her, and
Get
she's
the
just
fuck
like,
outta
"What's up?"
here.
Do you want to be in
drinking
this
pills.
movie? Will you provide the scotch? I will.
Let's improv a scene.
So the
I
goat's
want my
walking down the
father's
hall,
brew.
and this door like seductively swings open, and it's fucking Peter O'Toole's mom, and you're like, and she's like, "So you love her, right?" And like, this is weird because you've known this ghost for like 8 hours.
Yeah, love
Yeah,
needs
so
to be.
thought
apparently
I
the
was
goat
drunk.
has to
This is
love
movie love.
this woman.
I know, but I hate this trope of movies where it's like 2 days in, I know it's my soulmate. Nothing's
Yeah.
better than this.
I mean,
That's what ruins most relationships is people
My-
expect that.
That's the cupcake phase, man.
Wait.
Serendipitous.
you have to know, on me and Derek's first actual date, I did tell him we will be married.
It doesn't mean you love me though.
No, that meant I did love you because I refused to get married to somebody I didn't
No.
love. I had a child with somebody else and I was like, I'm not fucking marrying
Our
you.
first date was also like a year after like talking.
It means you're a crazy person and he loves you.
Exactly. It was a year after talking, and I did go on a date with him. I was like, yes, I will marry you. And he laughed in my face.
I will always hate the movie trope of quick love. I just will. It's
100%.
me as
no,
a person.
I get that. It is terrible.
But so here we are, Peter O'Toole's mom. You love her, right?
We do love her. I do
Dish,
love that.
bitch.
I
And
do love that.
Bitch
rosy
has been
cheeked
dead
bitch.
for 200 years.
Because he
You
knows,
love
and
her,
she's
right?
like, "Well, I know about it because I'm married to a ghost." And he's like, "What?" And she's like, "Come in, have a drink." And that's weird.
We're about to get to the only titular showing of this movie.
Yeah,
I don't want to say line because it's not a line.
yeah. They have the name, but we have a bunch of stuff going on around the building right now while he's getting ready to, like, they have that scene. We got the father or brother Troy. What's his name?
Brother Tony.
Brother Tony.
Morning.
I'm pretty sure that's a rapper, right? Brother Troy. No, it's Father Troy. What the fuck's this guy's name? Father Tony. Peter Gallagher.
Brother
I'm
Tony.
thinking, I'm
Brother
like,
Tony.
why are we not calling him Peter Gallagher? Because that's who we know.
Yeah, Peter
Brother
Gallagher.
Anthony.
Peter Gallagher is sitting there like reading the Bible or whatever he does, and he's like looking in, or he's staring out the window. That's right. He's not reading the Bible.
And
he's reading his Bible.
watching. He's watching.
He's studying.
That was earlier. He was reading the Bible. Right now, he's watching Jennifer Tilly get naked,
He's studying
Yeah.
Jennifer
Yeah.
Tilly get naked.
and he's like, "The Lord help me for my sins" or whatever. And
Yeah,
these
he
fucking,
starts doing these praise.
and this is when the Jawa nuns show up.
Jawa nuns, 100%. This is
Like
amazing.
10 of them.
It's a bunch of little kids dressed as Jawas with nun hats that stick out
Those
way
big
too far.
wig
Nuns
nun hats?
from the flying nun.
Yeah, the flying nun
habits.
hats, not like regular
Habits.
nuns.
Habits. That's
Yeah,
right.
so
Whatever.
blackface, orange eyes, giant white.
Wait, what?
I know the name for these
Not
habits.
blackface.
Not blackface.
Like,
One word.
It's
Black
just like
space
a
face.
black space
Comma.
with glowing eyes.
And it's a giant oversized white habit.
Yeah, and he's
His
like,
crotch starts
Yeah,
smoking.
he's freaking out, and he's like, "What's what?
His
Why are you
chest
here?"
starts
And his pants and his crotch, and there's just a bunch of smoke coming up.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
And he's like, "I get the message, whatever." And he runs out, and then one of the I think it's Malcolm. There's like a fish head hanging in the hallway, and it's bleeding out of its mouth.
Yep.
And he gets real close to look at it, and this hand just comes out of the fish's mouth and like grabs
Chokes
him.
him out.
And then the nuns push the other guy, Peter Gallagher, out of the fucking window.
Into
Yep.
a pool at the castle.
What?
Oh.
A Cessna pool.
Oh,
Cessna pool.
This pool has
It's a pool
not
made of
Cesspool.
It's a pool made of little tiny airplanes.
No, it's
single
like
passenger airplane.
Cesspool.
a cesspool.
Not a Cessna pool. Tawana?
It's a Tawana
That's what
pool.
I said, Tawana.
No, this body of water Cessna pool looks disgusting.
And this is one of the. This is actually
God.
one of the things throughout the movie. Like I noticed, like other than you can tell it's like sets. It might have been like a play, like a stage or something. This part looks like the production designers did a pretty good job on most of it. And this is one of the things because this looks gross.
It looks
Yes.
gross.
Like
It
the whole
looks
time I was thinking Kiker rules.
Putrid. It looks like you are falling into a pool filled with absolute algae that has been growing for a fucking century.
Physical sets look great.
Yeah, and then the nuns go and attack. I just had to mention that because this looks gross and it makes you want to throw up in your mouth.
Yep.
The nuns kind of go and attack Jennifer Tilly and also push her out of the window. And
because
falls
she
into the
goes searching
pool.
for.
Do you want to know
Tony.
why? Horny fucking ghosts.
Yeah, well,
They
also
they can't touch each other, but they want to watch Peter Gallagher bang Jennifer Tilly, and who fucking doesn't, by the way?
God, please enjoy the sex we are about to have.
Like they dress up as
nuns
nuns.
say grace before you
they're,
fuck.
they're random ghosts in the house. They're dressing up as nuns just to make him feel bad about himself because guilty sex is good sex.
I mean, you were raised Catholic.
Mostly.
Like, do you have to pray before you have sex?
No, you always pray after.
Pray for forgiveness.
Pray
It's
for
easier to pray for
forgiveness.
forgiveness than pray for permission.
What did you have? 2 orgasms? That's at least 10 Hail Marys.
Oh my God, that's illegal. You're going to hell.
DVDA, that's a whole decade.
No, then you got to do an Our Father. You
What
got to
is a
do.
decade?
A decade of rosary.
So 10?
If you have to ask, you can't afford it.
The fuck is it? This motherfucker isn't.
You're
doesn't
not
even
wrong.
believe
Decade
together.
is 10, but that's like there's parts of the rosary.
What's the other one? There's the Our Father, the Hail Mary, and the other important one that's in the Rosary.
Go ahead.
I don't know. I had to do it a lot.
The Lord's
Yes.
Prayer.
The Lord's Prayer, isn't that Our Father?
Our
The
Father.
glory be.
Glory be. That's the other one. Yeah. Fuck that. All right.
All right, you know what? I am so
Dude,
glad
I tried
You're in
to
a
was
room
not
full of
raised
Catholics.
Catholic.
Well,
I've tried recovering
Catholics.
Catholics. Please, please.
I
Dude,
am
I've
the
blacked
only-
out so much of my fucking Catholicism.
I am the
man.
only one not raised Catholic. I was raised agnostic and then decided to find God when I was 14.
How far did you have to look? Like, was he close?
Was he hiding?
Well, no. Like, I was raised, my mom was just like, if you want to find religion, you do that on your own time, not on my
I
time.
don't got time for that shit.
I can't teach you about God.
Speaking
You
of
don't
finding
know.
religion, the Peter O'Toole's mom is explaining that you can only fuck your ghost lover on
All
Halloween.
Hallows Eve or Hallows
game-
Eve.
All
yeah.
Hallows
Which
Eve.
happens to be this evening.
Yes.
Gutenberg's like, what, tomorrow?
So she pulls this ghost book out of the wall because they couldn't bother to open a wall.
I think it's the
Didn't
dad
go-
that does it.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, the book came. She
But
didn't-
because they didn't have the money
came.
to open these doors with, I mean, like maybe dental floss.
That's what I was saying.
Well,
Like,
but also Europe might not have a lot of dental floss.
But Beverly D'Angelo was flossing her teeth
American.
earlier.
That's an
I'll
American.
get at least
But
two.
so anyway, they pretend this book is a ghost book, and it itself can manifest through walls or
Yeah.
matriculate through walls. What do you want to use here?
And this is where we get the he said it moment because nobody says it, but the book is called the Book of High Spirits.
I read it. I read it. We drink to
This
that.
is the equivalent of the handbook for the recently deceased.
which I own.
But
But
it's
it
all
might
about
as well
fucking.
say how to fuck a ghost.
Yeah. At least the parts he's reading, it's just like you can't fuck on this day, you can't fuck on that day, you can't fuck like
Oh, you're
this,
missing
you
a
can't
part,
fuck like
man.
that, but
Let's
you can
cut.
fuck like this.
Let's cut real quick. Can we cut to Steve Guttenberg in a fucking bubble bath reading a book? Because that's what happens. He gets this fucking high spirits book and takes a hot soak with Mr. Bubble and a
soak.
pair of
Oh God, I hope it's
real
Mr. Bubble.
sexy reading glasses. Oh god.
Yes. Oh my God. He's all up trying to just. How do I fuck this ghost that
He's
I
trying to
want to
romance
fuck?
himself.
Do you think Steve Guttenberg ever saw himself as anything besides what he became, a comedian and just kind of a goofball? Do you think that he
Mahoney,
ever
ghost
thought
fucker.
I could be in a slasher?
I thought he.
I could be in a psychological thriller.
I feel
in a
like he thought
slasher,
he was
Mark.
going to be.
Would you watch it?
Bill Murray.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd watch it.
I
I mean,
feel
I watched
like-
Lavalantula. So.
What's the age on this dude right now, you think? Steve Guttenberg today.
72.
67?
67 is probably closer than you.
I said 72. But I still
close.
feel like.
Closest without going over is the rule.
Listen to me.
The price is right.
I still feel like Guttenberg thought he was going to be Bill Murray.
Yeah, but I don't think Bill Murray thought he was going to be.
Unfortunately,
Bill
they were-
Murray.
they were-
And that's what makes Bill Murray even amazing.
Well, that's
He's
why-
even more
Unfortunately, they were
amazing
kind
now.
of contemporaries, so only
Bill
one gets to
Murray,
be
if
Bill
you're
Murray.
listening to this, we would love for you
Bill
to
Murray's
come to
not
Tucson,
listening.
Arizona,
64, by the way.
and fucking be a guest,
64.
please.
Yeah.
Bill Murray,
64.
Bill Murray, Bill Murray.
You've heard these stories about Bill Murray. There's a solid chance he's just listening to the podcast. He just found it. And he's like, I mean, it seems like the nice thing to do.
Come serve me fries, please.
We will feed you and not bed you.
I've just often looked at Steve
I
Guttenberg.
will bed you.
He's not a tiny guy in the sense of height or his body type. Like he's not a Rick Moranis.
No,
Steve
yeah.
Guttenberg has a decent amount of mass to him without being overweight. I wonder if he thought that he could be something that he ended up not ever being.
I think he thought he could be a leading man, but he
Yeah.
can't. He could.
He's the comedian. He should have just gone comedy. Like, could he
The
not do
closest he
stand up?
gets to leading man is Police Academy. Honestly,
I will once again reference Boyfriend School, where he does an awful New Zealand accent and it sounds like Australia, but not even that good.
Yours sounds like New Zealand.
You sound like
maybe I'm
you
too-
came from.
Where
Are you a
it
Kiwi?
seems like Australian.
Isn't it Brit?
It's not a good movie. It's enjoyable. I think that I can't remember the female lead in that movie,
Kickable.
opposite of him, but it's not a good movie. But the '80s tried to make us think that he would be a leading star.
Yeah.
And this movie, the first hour
He
of this
fucked
movie,
the right person.
He fucked the right person. Yeah, when
But
that
you fucking-
casting.
So,
Fucking the right person and
that
having
deep-
I thought
talent
it was
go
more
are
of
equal
letting
parts.
the right person fuck
But hey,
you.
you guys, speaking of really bad accents, this is where the goat professes his love to Darryl Hannah after they've known each other for like 12 hours.
Tops 12 hours.
You're right. 12 hours. That's right.
He's like, I love you. She's like, I know. I've known from the moment I saw you. And I'm like, no, you haven't.
Ghost hours are an eternity.
And
love at first
also,
sight.
concurrent to this, Liam Neeson is trying to have sex with Beverly D'Angelo.
Yes.
Sharon.
Oh, he's trying to tup her. I don't think he's trying to have sex with her. He's trying to tup her.
Well, he comes in doing his like normal like murder routine, but Darryl Hannah's not there, but he's still going through the motions. And she like interrupts, but he's like kind of still has to do it.
He goes back and forth
to her. Yeah,
It's a
Yeah.
fun little moment.
he's like they're talking and he's hitting on her, and then all of a sudden he's like, "What did I do?" And he's like looking at the ground screaming, and she like walks around in invisible space, like, "Oh, am I stepping on a
He's
ghost?"
like, "Who? What
No,
did
she's
I
like poking her
do?"
foot. Like, what is he talking to?
And then when he gets up to leave, he's like, "Oh, what a night!"
Oh,
or whatever he
God,
keeps saying.
what have I
And then-
done? Oh,
and then he
God.
just goes,
Oh,
"Oh, what a
God,
woman!" And
what
then he
a
fucking leaps.
He quantum leaps out of here. No, it's a fun I guess I don't want to say young Liam Neeson, but early.
Oh, this is a young
With
early.
his squelching.
For an early Liam Neeson, it's fun, man.
Yeah, I mean, this
Squishing
is
and
the
scalping.
youngest I've ever seen Liam Neeson.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Because I keep mixing them.
I don't know.
Squishing.
I mean,
is
off the
farting.
top of my head, absolutely.
With his woody hands.
Oh, she does say that he kept squishing, and you're like, what the fuck is squishing?
Yeah, we thought it meant ED.
Yeah, I straight up thought that he was trying to put a soft penis. It's like when you try and pick a lock with mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
Like it's not successful. Okay, that example.
remember
Have you ever
trying-
tried
A
to?
soft spaghetti noodle would have been a better example for
How do I
picking a
say
lock.
this? Have you ever tried to push a chain up a hill? You haven't.
But-
Okay, good for
but-
you.
but
Hey, Derek,
squishing
good for
means
you.
farting.
No, that's an old Catholic punishment.
But it's I thought we called that Sunday school.
Yeah, you got hardwood.
That's not what you did at Sunday school. Yeah, carry this wood on your back a few miles that way.
Sinner.
But
Don't worry,
squishing,
along the way, a
squishing
lady-
means farting.
Hey, you're
and-
fine. Along the way, a lady will give you some water.
Oh, it's too cute. It's too cute of a name for farting. Like
Yeah.
I know we're PG, dude, but come on, man. Like
We or the movie?
and yeah, the movie.
we, sir,
Wait a minute.
sir.
Peter O'Toole here goes on like this drunken rant about just like what's going on. Like I don't even remember. He was just
Drunken rant number
27.
Well, he starts getting heated, and they're all just looking at him. And then this is when like the bricks on the wall start floating, and like the
yeah.
part behind him looks like shit. It's
I
that
do feel like we've
composite,
skipped
like-
at least one suicide attempt of his, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to the
Yeah.
plot, but
I'm sure he tried to kill himself.
You wanna
Again-
see it, you'll watch it.
he's trying to kill himself a lot.
Yeah, and the bricks
Badly.
are floating around, and like everybody's freaking out. They're not saying anything. And when the bricks get out into the group of people, they're like bricks on wires that are like floating past them. But when they're coming from behind him, it's like a terrible green screen. Like, and the green screen in this is really bad. You can see the hard edge around everybody.
Hard outlines.
And depending on who it is, Darryl Hannah is the biggest violator here because, speaking of bad CG, the biggest violator here because of her hair has like a frizz on the edge of it.
I didn't get what you meant at first. We're talking about Spawn, the fucking violator.
There you go. Thank you. Clown.
But the edge of her hair, because it's blonde and it's like a little bit frizzy, you can see green in the hair, like the edge of the frizzy part of her hair, which is just terrible.
I kind of wish I would have watched this in the... Well, I might have had a chance to watch it in the theater, but I would have been 6 years old, give or take.
I would have been about 2.5. So
I would have...
I'm pretty sure I'm not allowed.
Fucking baby.
When you come out again?
But I wonder what this looked like in the theater. Like, was there a reception to this movie that just was like, oh, it's pretty good,
well, here's
or
the thing.
holy
Or
shit,
like,
you're trash?
That was amazing.
We're looking at it with today eyes. That stuff was fairly acceptable. I mean, nothing in this, like none of that kind of stuff, like none of the green screen or any of that really is out of place for the era.
Okay.
And the budget. I mean, we're not
Fast
talking,
forward ahead.
We're not talking.
Movie's a
Top
flop.
Gun.
The movie ended up flopping.
You like Splash? I like Police Academy. This has the best of both worlds.
That was the beginning. That was the beginning of the end of a great relationship. There was some guy who met some girl, and he's like, "I love Police Academy." She's like, "I love Splash." And he's like, "Wow, so do I." She's like, "I also love Police Academy." Oh my god, this movie's coming out. Let's see it together. And that ended that relationship.
And that was the bellhop and the banshee.
So the bricks are floating around because ghosts are like coming out of the wall, including Peter O'Toole's dad.
Was it ghosts?
They start naming.
Well, they're like
corpses.
They're like corpses, but like Jack said, they don't really define the ghost rules.
No. All the corpse from the crypt.
But this castle's gonna fucking stink if
coming
you
out.
have a
Well, that's why
crypt
they're
behind your common wall.
You talk about that as heavy bricks. It's fine.
This castle's gonna fucking stink. Are you kidding me?
This castle
have
looks
a
like it
vent
stinks
on the
anyway.
other
Sure,
side.
it looks like it stinks because of fucking bad plumbing. It doesn't look like it stinks because a dead corpse is a foot away from you.
They're centuries old. It doesn't.
I want to ask you a
anymore.
question.
They get better.
I want to ask you a question right now. Do you smell a corpse?
Right now?
Yeah.
It might be me, but there's a small smell.
Okay, well, that's
I
just
did
behind
fart
drywall.
like 5 seconds ago.
Not behind a bunch of big bricks.
Hey, do you want me to smell a corpse?
I'm just saying, there's one or more in this house. They're behind drywall, and you can barely smell them.
All right, you know what? Point noted. It smells fresh in here. And apparently I am surrounded by no less than one corpse.
No less than...
At all times.
So basically, Dad O'Toole is telling Baby O'Toole...
Oh, because they name off all the ghosts. It's Auntie Yada Yada. It's Cousin Yada Yada.
Uncle Bernie.
And like almost last but not least, your dad. Uncle Bernie was the name too.
I couldn't remember any of the names.
Uncle Bernie was the only one you need to know because I'm voting for that. I'm voting Uncle Bernie in 2024.
Strong Irish name. Like
Uncle Bernie, all the way.
The dad ghost is basically telling Peter O'Toole that he's a fucking failure.
Yeah.
And he's here to save his ass.
Emotional speech.
One of the other really good like haunting things, one of my favorite ones is the cook guy who we didn't mention earlier, by the way. There's like a cook and a mechanic, and every scene they're in, they keep switching hats.
The cook, by the way, never without headphones, and I respect that game.
Yeah, he's a
Also,
cook.
there was a scene where there was like the dinner scene that we totally skipped over.
Oh, with
where
White
he
Teen?
was- The white teen. Yeah. Kept throwing like fresh parsley.
I will say,
stems and all.
I don't
in
know
the
if it's
fucking
cultural.
soups.
I don't know if it's a time thing. When they kept talking about whiting, I didn't get it. I had to look up what whiting was.
Yeah, it's
and it's
apparently
a
very
fish.
cheap fish.
Yeah, but it was a big joke for we're going back now. It doesn't matter because this movie has 1 hour of absolute shit and then another 30-40 of pretty fun stuff.
Yeah.
Let's go back to the shit real quick. Let's
How
sift
far
through
are
our
we into
past.
this?
We're
But
past
no.
what we're talking about.
There's a whole
But yeah,
feast where everything's
but
whiting.
look,
there is like
This
a
is
whole
a good
menu.
podcast. You want to listen to it for 2.5 hours. You don't want to watch a bad movie for 90 minutes. Shut up,
But
Patrick.
the chef keeps throwing like
Dude,
fresh
Patrick watched this
parsley.
movie, so you don't have to. But every dish though
you go.
was whiting.
Yeah, it was like whiting
froth,
puree,
whiting
whiting froth.
salad,
Which,
whiting.
by the way,
whiting vapor.
But the I almost said chef, but fuck, he's no chef.
The cook.
The cook with headphones that always has a butcher knife was just throwing fresh parsley on these dishes. Loved. I actually really enjoyed that scene. I forgot to talk about it.
It's called
but
Fancy.
It's fancy. It's got
So-
parsley on it, man. How
Gotta
can
be on the top.
In this scene, he's just carrying a fish around the. I don't know.
Oh.
He's just carrying a fish, and this dead
It's
fish
singing.
just starts whistling.
Whistle solo.
So what do you do? What do you do when you are carrying
The
a
logical
haunted
thing,
fish?
you throw it on the ground, you chop its fucking, or throw it on the table, you chop its fucking head off.
And that's what he does.
But it just keeps whistling, and basically he's
you don't
just like,
hear anything.
You don't hear anything.
yeah, you guys, you don't hear anything, do you? No, I don't hear anything, and he's just like, well, I'm leaving the fish, and just walks
Doesn't
away.
pick up the fish and just walks away.
I love a good denial.
Liam Neeson's now appears back in Beverly D'Angelo's bed, and this is where we first notice he's wearing body glitter.
Oh yeah. So first, kind of a
Sparkly
fun,
ghost.
not kind of a very fun effect. The bedding raises up before he, and I don't mean like him as a ghost manifest. Before the graphics put him into the
Yeah.
scene, there's a really fun little spot where
And-
the bed raises up where he will be.
And that was
I like it.
my first thought on that. Like the thing started raising, and obviously it's his lower half because that's where the blanket is.
Uh-huh.
So you're thinking like, okay, ghost boner, right? And the first thing I thought was
Definitely
he had a
fucking ghost
husband's bulge, which I had to figure out in my own brain was from the Cabin in the Woods, and it's fucked up. That's the little girl talking about her brother having a husband's bulge.
Oh,
You've never seen Cabin in the Woods, have you?
I haven't.
You should.
Well, I'm not going to after that
Oh,
statement.
it's great.
That's not
I
selling
just
it.
remember the extending, like, or collapsing coffee mug bong.
Yeah, that's pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a better pitch than you just gave
No,
me.
no, no. It's
Okay, hold on.
They find this
Little
they find-
girl,
They find
husband
this.
bulge, collapsing bong, coffee cup.
They find this. It's.
You weigh it out.
I can't tell you you got to see the movie because I can't spoil it. But
I
there's
don't
a
think
part
I
where
have
you do. It's great. But they're reading this journal, and it's supposed to be this like journal of this girl that got killed a long time ago, and she's talking about all this fucked up shit. And it's one of the things.
Hey,
So
you know what?
It's a fucked
Treat
up
me like
thing.
Patrick. Make me watch it.
Okay, but it's not bad. It's really good.
So this is one of the Patrick's mental health
I've
months.
watched a lot of movies. thanks
My
to
favorite
this.
thing. My favorite thing about Cabin in the Woods is my ex made me go see it because she loved all this modern horror, and I hate everything. Like I hate almost all modern horror.
Yeah.
Nowadays we're getting back to some good
Smile.
stuff, but this is back like late 2000s. Like everything was terrible.
Outside of Drag Me to Hell, everything
Yeah,
sucked.
Drag Me to
Well,
Hell, which also has some terrible CG. We just
Yes, it
rewatched
does. Yes,
but
it
it's a great
does.
movie. But most of it just sucked. She wanted to see everything that was a haunting, everything that was an exorcism, everything that was whatever. So she's
All
like,
the
"Let's go watch this."
Conjuring,
Yeah,
Every
let's,
gymnastics
let's go watch this
person
Cabin
that
in the
can go
Woods.
backwards and crawl.
So she's like, "Let's go watch this Cabin in the Woods." I'm like, "That sounds stupid as fuck." But, you know, I was dating her, so I'm like, okay, we'll go watch this fucking stupid movie. Well, it has this crazy twist that makes it a really great movie. We're
Okay.
leaving, and she's like, that movie fucking sucked. And I was like, that's the best movie you've ever made me go watch.
this is
Is
the
that
most
the one
fun I've
that
had
I
dating
watched
you.
with you? That I was like, oh my god, this shit is amazing.
Yeah, the one with the different horror
with
movie
Thor
things
and fucking the
Yeah.
other Captain America black guy and
No, that's not him. It's got Thor. It's got that dude with the black guy with blue
Also,
eyes from Grey's
Captain
Anatomy.
America,
Oh,
Black
Grey's Anatomy,
Guys, not
that
the
guy.
preferred nomenclature.
Please,
I just
Falcon.
like the aspect of
the Falcon,
Falcon.
dude.
The virgin. Yeah, we take who we
Yeah,
get.
it's this whole thing of just about horror movie tropes, and it's very, very well done.
that
Also,
shit is amazing.
the guy from Billy Madison who's got the weird balls, he's in it.
That
Yeah.
was a guy with a weird ball.
Yeah, the-
Gross.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh, I know exactly
He
what you're
talks
talking about.
like a weasel.
Well, he's Eric from what did you just say?
Billy Madison.
Billy Madison.
Yeah.
He's also Jake Peralta's dad in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, yes, yeah.
He also
9-9.
had
9-9.
a show with Colin Hanks, not the other guys, the good guys maybe. Something like that. Anyway, I know exactly what you're talking about. The actor's name escapes me, but I very
But
much enjoy
Here's the thing:
him.
if you
He gave that weasel laugh.
if you feel like trying to watch it,
Yeah, I
watch
sound like a witch when I try to do his laugh, but you did it much better.
watch the opening scene. It's one of those movies where like you watch it up until it says the name of the movie, and if you're not going, I'm interested in what's happening, then you're not gonna care.
All right.
Because the opening scene is I remember going in and watching it. And I was like, did we go to the wrong movie?
No
So
plugging.
he appeared in the bed to seduce Beverly D'Angelo, and she's trying to resist. She keeps saying like, "I'm not interested," but she clearly is.
And he's
You
so
want
glittery.
someone
How are
that
you not
takes
interested
control.
in 7'2" glittery Liam Neeson?
And then immediately after this scene, I noticed that some of the floor was like shiny, and I was like, "Wait, all the ghosts covered in glitter, and it's just covering the set now. It's just the herpes of craft, and it's just everywhere."
It's like Ghost Strip Club.
No,
man.
I wasn't at a strip club. A ghost came in here.
Baby, I was haunted.
Yeah, I was just going to church.
Oh, look at all that ectoplasm.
So
I
I'm
was
on
going
my
to
way
church.
to adopt a child that was lost in an orphan fire, and all of a sudden, boom, haunted.
I was gonna serve at the soup kitchen like I do every Saturday night with my friends, and we were on our way, and this ghost just went right through my body, covered me in glitter, ectoplasm all down the left side of my pants.
Baby, I got scalped. I got scalped. I know I have glitter on me and I smell like peaches and cream, but I was scalped.
We see the ocean puppet show again now. They're all like kind of hanging out in
Oh
the
my
bar
God,
or
this
whatever.
is
No
the
one's manning it.
But yeah,
fantastic.
exactly. No one's manning it. The ghosts are doing the puppet show.
It is because they're not paying attention to any of the ghosts. They're like, nope, we're just sitting at the bar and drinking. And then all of a sudden...
Well, they're not paying attention. It's not that they're not paying attention.
No,
Like
that
someone's
was the thing
shaking.
They said, we're not paying attention to the
Yeah,
ghosts.
we
We're
just
not
ignore
giving
them.
them any attention. Just ignore them.
And they are shaking from terror, drinking beer from straws.
'Cause apparently-
you know how fucked up you are to drink beer from beer with a straw.
Apparently,
Hey,
ghosts are
I
just
have drank
like.
beer from a straw
You're
from a
fucked up.
fucking pool.
Apparently, ghosts are just like homeless people who keep coming up and asking for money. If you just ignore them, they'll go away.
Shh, we don't hear that. We don't hear that.
You shouldn't be in the restaurant. Just don't acknowledge it. Probably my favorite part of the whole movie.
Yeah.
It's like the thing starts and there's like rain inside and there's lightning and there's all this shit and they're freaking out and like
It's like fucking Monty Python.
yeah, well, and like
perfect.
the whale, like it's all the wooden cutouts and stuff that are like going up, but like the whale wooden cutout comes across and they cut back to the crowd,
Damn.
and this fucking whale tail just comes and smacks everybody. This big puppet whale tail, and I was like, wait, what just happened?
Yeah.
Water is just splashing everywhere
Yeah,
now.
they're just dumping buckets of fucking water on these
Seaweed.
people.
And then the Kraken.
Yeah,
And then fish are in their pints of Guinness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
you got-
One of the
I'm
guys-
assuming whiting.
yeah. One of the guys pulls a whiting out
Poor
of his
man's
Guinness
fish.
and keeps drinking it because it's already got fish bladder in it anyway. And but the best part is the Kraken
Best
giant
part of the
octopus
movie.
guy shows up and it's a wooden cutout on the wooden cutout stage like everything else. And of course we know, okay, so tentacles are coming because we just saw this. You know, it's a very shortened version of
Yeah.
Chernobyl's chainsaw.
Ah, suction cup thingies.
It's Poseidon's trident.
So the tentacles come out and they
Poseidon's
grab
prediction.
the tentacles grab one of these kids who we've barely talked
Oh,
about. 'cause
not
they're
one of
barely
these
in the
kids.
movie.
We know the name, but
Not yet.
Go
Not
go ahead,
yet.
go ahead,
We
go
don't
ahead
know
and
his
say what
name yet.
happens. We know the name.
Grabs
Bastard 3. I don't know.
Woody.
I didn't catch that. That's great. So he gets pulled in by the tentacle, and it's great because you see this tentacle pulling this kid. It's a terrible like green screen composite thing, and then they just do this thing where he turns into like one of the characters from that fucking Take On Me video.
He turns into one of the fucking wood cutouts.
Well, it's supposed to be turning into wood, but the way it looks is it's just like someone drew around him and scribbled pencil over him. It looks like the
I just
video.
love that the first time we learned this little kid's name is when he turns into a
It's a
wooden
wood.
puppet, and the mom goes, "Woody."
Yeah, so you see him on the stage with all the waves and stuff, and the Kraken is holding him, and the priest is the only one who has the fucking bright idea. He takes, which I don't know why there's a lifesaver,
A
like,
real
ring.
life preserver.
But
A
he's
real-
also
like I
doing
said,
the fucking
lifesaver.
Lord's Prayer as
Well,
he's
that's
throwing
why the
it.
lifesavers are called lifesavers.
Yeah, they are lifesavers. Yeah.
But, like,
I'm drowning.
He
in
takes the
moistness.
preserver thing and throws it like over the top of the stage, so it drops into the stage and it's wood.
It's a
And then the
literal
little
Hail
wood kid-
Mary.
Yeah,
It's just doing a literal Hail Mary with this.
He
life
was praying
preserver.
when he
This
did
will
it.
work
That's
with
what I'm
the
saying.
Fucking prop screen. Ah.
and the kid grabs like the fake wood kid grabs fake wood fucking life preserver, and they pull on it and they pull him out and they save
Then
him.
like a ship hits the fucking Kraken.
Yeah,
or some
the
shit.
ship starts coming. Well, they're trying to pull the kid up, and the ship is coming, and it hits the Kraken, but it's like it's gonna hit the kid.
This is the best fair I've ever been to.
It was a pretty exciting little puppet show.
And then they
It was-
pull him through, and he lands on his mom, and he's like, "Mom, I'm here." And
she
she's
doesn't
just
give a
devastated.
shit.
She's
She's
just face in some tits of another woman crying, "Oh my God,
Are you
son."
judging this mother for falling apart for having her child turn to wood?
Not
Yes.
even a little bit. Because if my daughter got turned into wood,
This is something
The
we've never
first
experienced
place-
before.
the first place I would go to is to the woman next to me, and I would bury my face in her tits.
Hey, audience, just to let you know, that's her default.
Just so you know, wooden children are a lot quieter than real children.
Ooh, I would have a child if it was a wood child.
I'm pretty sure that goes into the aspect of better seen, not heard.
What do you think
Pinocchio.
What do you think the jail time is for burning your wood child?
Oh,
I mean, there's less evidence. Who says they're gonna find it?
prove me wrong. I had never had a kid. Prove me wrong.
Well, if she floats and a duck floats,
Then
all
she's
float
made
up
of
here.
wood.
We all float up here.
Witch, bitch.
turn
Okay.
me into a newt. I got better.
So we go back. The Goot and Darryl Hannah are in the really gross, dirty bed. I don't know why
The
they can't go to his
grossest
room.
bed. Oh, because
And-
Beverly D'Angelo's there, and that
No,
doesn't
she's
work
down
for
in
the.
the
Oh,
fucking
it doesn't
thing
work
with
for
all
the
the
plot. We
people.
got dirty rooms.
Who cares? So they're drinking and making out and touching each other and basically being like, but we can't fuck.
we can't tub. We
This is-
cannot
this
tub.
is
No
every-
tupping.
this is
no tupping.
Like early devout Catholic, early devout Mormon, you either play just the tip or you play soaking. Either way, that's what's happening right now. We're like, he's on her.
He is grinding, so
And
he's
she's-
letting his
Well,
shaft
they eventually
rub
just start
up on
fucking.
his
Oh yeah,
her clit.
oh yeah.
Like,
but it's a
he
very
is-
big game
oh, no,
of like.
you shouldn't. But
There you
keep
go.
going. Oh,
No, stop!
Yeah.
But don't stop.
That's what I'm
I
saying. It's a
can't
pretty
stop.
problematic scene because she's like, no, we shouldn't be doing this. And he just doesn't say anything and just keeps like thrusting. And she's like, no, but we shouldn't. But don't. But I can't.
It's
little to the
problematic,
right.
but like, cause I don't know, man. It
He
is-
puts his dick in her vagina, but we don't know that's what's happening.
And then afterwards, she starts quoting poetry to him. Somebody we apparently should have known who they were.
Ben Johnson.
Ben Johnson. I was about to say John Bernstein, and then I realized I'm pretty sure that's the Punisher.
It's close. It's John Bernthal.
Bernthal. All right.
But still, Ben Johnson, if
I love that
anybody's
you
aware
know
of
that.
this actual poet, I know a lot of useless facts, thank you. I've never heard of Ben Johnson. But yeah,
No.
I don't know.
And then
This
he
is-
quotes back to her. He starts acting like he's going to do poetry.
These are two very thirsty, repressed people that know they should be fucking, that are like, we can't do it because what does he say? I'll paraphrase real quick. If you fuck a ghost out of just sheer lust, you're fucking a dead person. But if you do it for love,
Go to the grave.
you might bring him to life.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like
So
the
basically, if you fuck a ghost and you don't love her, you're gonna turn into a ghost. But if you fuck a ghost and you do love her, both of you are alive.
You're going to turn her into a dead person.
yeah.
You'll
I
turn
don't
her
think
into a
you'll
ghost.
be dead.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah.
eventually.
But
you
this
know.
is after that. This
The
is
cruel-
after they
the
were
cruel
grinding
hand
and
of
then they
fate
fucked.
gets us all.
Because that's when she starts quoting the poetry, and then he starts quoting the Big Bopper back to her. So and then Malcolm is running around trying to like get rid of the ghosts with like an antenna, and like a
You
coat
can't
hanger.
hide from me.
And this is when the ghost bus comes rising. Like they're all talking and they're up on the shore there by the lake, and we have like this cool matte painting of like the castle and like a little thing of the lake, and then in the foreground we have the boat coming, or the bus coming up out of the
Well,
lake.
it's an amphibious
You
bus.
know,
so.
the amphibious bus.
But this is also where I think, not plot oriented, where we need more physical comedy from this character. The guy's
100%.
trying. This is the biggest Jim Varney moment
Yeah.
because he's leading people, and there's not a lot of dialogue.
Yeah.
But man, and the actor's giving it his all. It's just not hitting. You're not doing enough, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's hunching over and like saying silly things and like
Sticking his butt out a
yeah,
little
and
bit.
it's just not funny.
Yeah,
it
it's
just
not.
doesn't work for his body.
It's not enough Carrie, and I don't mean Jim Carrey,
The movie.
but I
Carrie.
could.
You mean Bloody Carrie?
I just feel he will not carry this scene enough. He can't.
So the ghost bus comes up and Liam Neeson's driving it and he's just lost his shit. He's like, I love you. I'm going to get you. And he's just trying to run everybody over with a ghost bus that's just flying through the air. And it's another great little like model of a fucking bus.
Because if it's not him, if you don't see him driving it, it is a model floating above the ground. When it's him, it's zoomed in on his face, and he's doing great.
It's just him behind a mirror, window or windshield, and he's like,
he's
he
a
says,
hungry actor right here, by the way.
He says tonight's gonna be bahookie night.
Bahookie night,
Which we didn't mention, but that's
Liam Neeson's is like bahookie night.
Yeah,
What is,
bahookie is the way he refers to his testicles and or junk.
because she kicked him, and he goes, "Oh, right in the bahookies."
Yeah,
And laying in bed, she lifts up the sheets, and he said, "I have the best bahookies." And then I can't remember
the best
the
bahookies
location.
on the aisle or something like that.
Best bahookies west of the Mississippi. It might as well be
West of the Thames. There we go. That's a thing
yeah,
that's in
sure.
that area.
That's Europe.
And this is where we get where they spent most of the money. We have like the
Oh, I haven't seen a set like that since the Loch Ness.
we have the like kind of like composite ghosts. Like all the ghosts in this movie have just been people who've been in the room.
Yeah.
And occasionally they're like a green screen, like faded thing. But these are like almost animated, like drawn ghosts. They look like the white sheet ghosts that are flying around. the Goot and Darryl Hannah wake up together in bed, or like I don't know. She goes to sleep and he turns around. Something happens.
Well, okay.
They
we know who passed out after fucking. we know which sex passed out after fucking fella.
All right.
But like
Spoiler alert.
She got super energetic. He needed a nap. I get it.
He sees her though, and she's basically turned into a zombie because they fucked right before Al Hallows Eve. So she's all gross looking and shit.
Oh, that was some good love making.
And it's funny because she's like, "But looks aren't everything. We're in love." And he's like, "No, they're not everything, but like, they help."
Because now you got Liam Neeson that crashed the bus into the wall of the castle exterior is now interior.
And he's looking for Bev D.
He found her.
Where's the wife?
Yeah. Oh, your wife's right here. No, your wife, Jack.
Yeah, Goot and the zombie lady are coming down the stairs, and he's like, "Not my wife, your
wife."
Also, by the way, did you tup her?
Yeah. You mother tupper.
So she keeps trying to. Darryl Hannah keeps trying to get the Goot to kiss her, and he's like, gross. Let me get some moisturizer. Let me get some moisturizer.
But then is like going in for the kiss and then just immediately plants the kiss.
Well,
yeah,
I don't know if you can use the word immediately.
Yeah, he doesn't want to do it, but I think
he's obligated. He's like, okay,
there's
gonna,
a lot of apprehension.
Unfortunately, kiss you.
They are making out, and he's trying to like push his way away. He's resisting her.
Dude, he like beats the dust off the ghost pussy, and then like beats the dust off the chair.
next
He's
to the ghost.
smacking that fucking ottoman that he's on just every second of a kiss.
We see her hair changing and stuff because she's draining his life force
But he
to
doesn't.
become human. No, he doesn't because his eyes are closed. And
as they should be when you kiss somebody.
So even though Liam Neeson was
that,
going
don't
after
trust
Beverly
anybody.
D'Angelo, now all of a sudden Beverly D'Angelo is chasing Liam Neeson
Yeah.
through the house, and like she's trying to chase him. He's like appears on a balcony. She's like, "How'd you get up there?" It's like, "Well, because I'm a fucking ghost."
Bitch, I've been a ghost this whole fucking time. I do what I want.
They ghost for
And
over 200 years. What the
She
fuck?
had a
And
quick
then-
flip, by the way.
But-
it was like this whole movie of like, cheeky, how dare you? All of
Yeah.
a sudden, like,
Well-
where are you with that sweet D?
And that's what it seems like. It's like all of a sudden she wants him and he's running away, but it's because he's got a plan. He's like, "Now come to me and love me forever." And he's standing in front of a window. Well, you know what happens when a human goes at a ghost? 70% of the time in this movie, they go through it.
Animation.
Yeah. I mean, half the time they can touch and half the time they can't. Who knows? But she jumps at him to be with him forever and dives through him and dies. She falls from
to
whatever.
be with him forever.
Something we didn't talk about. Her last name, Bogan.
I think we went over that
Brogan,
earlier.
yeah. Her
Brogan.
dad. No, we did
Oh,
talk
we didn't
about
go
it.
over. No, we didn't
Martin's
talk about
We
the
last
did
Neeson.
name.
because we were talking about how like, oh, Brogan's your dad, and
Yeah.
you're the reason why.
No, we
have
talked
to
about
get-
that, but we didn't touch on the
talk
fact
about-
that Neeson's is also broken.
Oh, that's
So the
right.
fact that he's in the shower with her rubbing on her little giblets, and then
that's
she's,
his 13th great grand cousin or whatever.
there's a
200
relation.
years ago, that
You know
should've
what?
been fine.
I mean,
Actually,
I hear that it doesn't
220
matter after
years
like
ago.
third cousins, so they're probably fine.
Look, dude, I got a rule. I won't sleep with Lori Petty because that's the same last name. There's a fucking chance.
But what about Jennifer Petty?
Who the fuck is that?
I don't know.
I'm gonna sleep. I
What
won't
if
sleep
they're
with
Tom
her.
Petty's cousin?
What if I'm Tom Petty's cousin?
Are you?
Exactly the point.
What
He
if?
doesn't know.
I don't know.
There's ways to find out.
By fucking.
Yeah, by seeing what comes out.
Give the government.
What are we
Well,
gonna,
that kid didn't come out well.
What are we gonna have here? Are we gonna have a Tom Cruise, a Steve Guttenberg, or are we gonna have Sloth?
Oh, great! He's got the great big book of British smiles on his face.
So
From air to air.
Darryl Hannah like disappears or whatever when she becomes a person. I don't know, but when Beverly D'Angelo
She
jumps out
stops
the
being a
window,
zombie.
he goes outside. The Goot goes outside and sees her, and he's like, "Oh no! Even though I hated you."
But guess what? It's fucking Darryl Hannah.
Because
It
I think
is
she
That's the big
Mary.
reveal.
again.
They fucking switch places. The
Wife
ghost
swap.
and the 100%
first wife swap ever. But I think
Supernatural
again,
wife
this
swap.
movie doesn't do a
Supernatural
great
wife
job of explaining its own
No.
fucking rules.
No.
But Darryl Hannah's sixth senses, a fresh, about to be dead body out of nowhere, and just
Yeah,
It's true love.
and then all the families, all the Americans leave, and they're like, "Oh, it was a great time," and Malcolm's gonna recommend the place.
I like
to-
what Malcolm said though. He goes, "This is the worst vacation I've ever had." But I'm going to recommend it for the most haunted hotel I've ever been in, whatever.
On the Emerald Isle.
Yeah.
And then they all leave, and then we find out the Goot decided to stay there to live with Darryl Hannah because they want to live in a big, wet, damp,
Alive
moldy
and in
castle.
love.
I bet
Then
she
Beverly
can't
D'Angelo
leave. She's
and
bound
Liam-
to this fucking place, man.
Oh, yeah.
She's not a ghost anymore, though. But Beverly D'Angelo and Liam Neeson's come out, and they're making out and dancing down the stairs, and everybody's dancing, having a good time. And you're like, okay, so they're living together now. They've all found the person they're
Oh,
supposed
is that
to be
right?
with.
Go tell me, Rhonda.
They had a wife swap, and they decided that, you know what, that's where we should stick with.
So Beverly D'Angelo is with her 13th great grand uncle grandpa.
particular set of skills.
Squishy, warty.
He farts and has warts.
Hey,
But
you
he
find me a
takes
guy that doesn't
control.
fart, and I'll show you a girl.
But he's a large man and can make her come.
She's impressed. But this is where I get confused again, and it doesn't really matter because it's the end of the movie. But they're dancing with each other. They switch partners. They're dancing. They're all touching.
Talking
But throughout
about
the
their
rest of the movie,
old-
they were going through each other.
Couldn't
unless
touch.
It was unless they were fucking. They can only
Yeah.
touch when they fuck. I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Well, because
Movie's
even his
over.
mom and dad, they only have one night a year they can touch. Even
Yeah.
Peter O'Toole's mom and dad are in a very, we didn't talk about that, they're in a very real ghost relationship.
Yeah, she's
Where
just
she's like,
with
why
him.
should I move on?
all the
I gotta
time.
tell you right now, dude, I would kill in a ghost relationship because once a year I gotta pick the
You
right
could
food
be
to
with
eat.
your lady.
Every 364 days of the year, I don't pick the wrong food. I'm a good boyfriend.
Yeah.
That one day a year, I'm gonna pick the right thing to eat.
Yeah.
Also, the guy that owns the lease of this place, your daughter just died in this property.
You
There's
don't
no
care.
way you're
Doesn't
extending
know
this
yet.
lease, man.
Well,
There's
that's the
no
thing is-
fucking way.
That's
This
what
is
I'm
over a
saying.
weekend.
It's the thing
That's
is,
what I'm saying. Did Darryl Hannah just replace her?
Yeah.
And we can just
Yeah.
see.
no,
she
not just we.
is-
They can. They've switched
No,
bodies.
no.
Yep.
But I'm saying, so is she the daughter?
No,
Like-
the daughter's dead.
No, I feel like the Goot just called Papa Bogan or whatever and was like, "Hey,
Papa
so,
Bogan, by the way, dope ass fucking band name.
Just so you know, your wife fell off or your daughter fell off a boat. She's dead. She fell off a
jumped out
cliff,
a
died on
fucking
impact.
window,
Speaking
like
of Billy
visually.
Madison,
When can we have the funeral? Well, no, her body's being used.
her body's gone. It's kind of like Bin Laden. We don't know. He just went over the side of a boat.
We buried her at sea with a helicopter.
It's
Is that
over.
weird?
It's overboard with a sad ending. She didn't. She fell off and never came back.
Oh.
If you're
Although
gonna
the
be
regular
honest-
ending of Overboard is pretty sad.
I mean,
'cause
you
she
can just
gives
say
in-
overboard without Kurt Russell, and I'm already sad.
Like the regular Overboard is pretty sad because she just gives into her Stockholm
All right,
syndrome.
did anyone watch the reboot?
Hey, that's called love. It took longer than 2 days, Derek.
All right, quick question. Overboard. Anyone watched the reboot?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, no.
Nope. I'm against reboots. I'm against remakes.
I don't, I'm
love-
not. I'm not because
I
you know what
love-
one of my favorite movies of all time is? The Thing
okay.
remake.
Okay.
remake.
I think that a remake should only ever even be thought about happening if technology to make the movie has gotten that much better.
Overboard.
And when you look at a
Goldie
movie like
Hawn,
Overboard, the technology to make that movie didn't need to get better.
There's no technology. Yeah.
Because
But
Goldie
so
Hawn
on
and
paper,
Michael Douglas.
Kurt
on
Russell.
Kurt
paper,
Kurt Russell.
Different
on-
mullet.
I was about to say that switched to horror or
Yeah,
you know.
Goldie Hawn and Michael Douglas. That's a really fucked up version of what the fuck was
Fatal
that movie?
Attraction.
No,
Cape
yes,
Fear?
but no.
I won't be ignored.
What the fuck's that movie called? It's not deposition.
The
It's something
stone,
with a D. And it's
Romancing
Michael
the
Douglas.
Stone.
No,
The
but it
Departed?
doesn't matter.
I mean, yeah.
Not Michael
Goldie
Caine,
Hawn and
Michael
Michael
Douglas.
Douglas
So let me
were
give you an
romancing
example.
the
Cut
Stone.
all this if you feel it. I'll give you an example of a movie I was excited to see a remake of, and I was disappointed by it. But RoboCop.
Oh.
Because original RoboCop,
Yes.
they didn't want him to move that slow and chonky. It just so happened the costume made him move that slow and chonky. Fast forward to the remake with, was that Joel Kinnaman
Haven't watched it.
and
Don't want to
Michael
watch
Keaton?
it.
I was very excited because I'm like, fuck yeah, RoboCop's going to be able to run. Like, that's all I needed to hear. RoboCop can run. Turns out I backed the wrong pony.
But-
RoboCop remake sucked.
But very similar because it's very like almost the same timeline. Not movie timeline, but
Dredd.
like world timeline. Judge Dredd versus Dredd.
Dredd is fucking amazing.
Yes.
Carl Irving deserves fucking
There should have
blowjobs,
been an
man.
entire franchise.
They
That-
talked about a Netflix series after the movie came out, and I thought, fucking do it. I'll give you all my money. I'll give you most of my semen. Carl Urban as Dredd was amazing with that.
Yeah.
He never took the helmet off. He was, what is it? Hot shot.
By the
He's
way,
got
I was-
the voice. Oh,
I was trying to think of Disclosure.
oh, yeah. All right.
So,
It's not as good
doesn't
as
matter.
It's not nearly as good as Dredd.
No,
Another
Dredd is great.
D-name movie.
But Dredd is great. That Judge Dredd versus Dredd, just like the RoboCop versus RoboCop.
Now, I think everybody in this fucking room probably likes Judge Dredd with Sly Stone.
Yeah.
Because it's campy, it's funny. I am the law.
Yeah,
Like,
we'll be
it's-
talking
But
about it at some point, I'm
he-
sure.
He always has his mask off.
And very few people
Yeah.
have done this, but if you've ever read the fucking comic, Dredd's a better movie.
Around the horn, starting with Jack. Recommend, yay, nay?
Nay.
Nay?
Nay, because as much as that, like, there is, what's this movie? Hour 30? Hour 40?
Yeah, 137.
You get 30 minutes of it.
It is 30 minutes of a blast. It is an hour slog. I know I recommend this movie to you, and I'm sorry, but
I would
you're
recommend you,
also
but not other people.
you're also a film nerd. So
Yeah.
you get appreciation of movies in a way that a lot of people might not. So I recommend it to a very few amount of people.
But it'll be like my last week where I went from watching two of the most nominated and most winning Oscar films, and then came home and watched Leprechaun in Space because I don't.
you
give a
hate
fuck.
yourself.
I just watch
you
it
hate
all.
yourself. So no, you know what? Like to any casual viewer that just that
Can
no,
wait
I don't
to
recommend
watch.
it. I just don't recommend it, honestly.
Patrick,
If you've never seen this movie before and somebody tells you to watch it, you can watch it. It's there for that.
we can always watch it. But is it
Exactly
yes
my
or no
point.
recommend? Soft, hard.
Is it your recommend?
I mean, is it like a semi?
Would you recommend it?
Semi erect to recommend. A semi a recommend.
I want anywhere from ED to Viagra.
I want half mast because Steven Guttenberg's character.
Oh, that's
just
the new way
totally-
we're fucking doing this. How much do you
Totally
recommend this
just kinda
movie?
ED to Viagra?
I am rock hard for this movie. It's slapping my knees. Or
Yeah, I
have
was
half
borderline
mast.
erectile
All right,
dysfunction for this movie myself.
Half mast for the movie. It'd be better if Steve Guttenberg's character didn't bring it down as much.
Make this movie rated R.
Yeah.
Or
You
PG-13 at
can't- You
minimum.
can't fall in love with a ghost at midnight and then be like, I topped you.
Topcha.
I mean, we won't
That was-
top
that
it,
was
but you
Neeson's,
told
but
me
I
to
gotcha.
go to the right. No, it still came up. But
I told ya.
Topcha. Topcha good, you fucker.
All right. But,
All right.
Wife.
So my thing is, since I watched this when I was like 9 years old with my parents, and I remember laughing. So if you are 40 or give or take 4 years, if you want to watch it again, if you're putting your child to sleep, put him to bed while the movie is on, and then just go in and watch it.
Don't watch this movie with your child.
This is
You're going to have to
this is a movie-
explain tupping,
This is a movie you can just
milking,
put on.
whatever the fuck it's called.
You know what?
You know what? Watch it if you like to just watch bullshit and have a laugh an hour into it. Because that's when you're going to get your fun.
I'm gonna go half mast.
I was going to say, Derek,
wait.
erectile to
I've
Viagra.
got an issue here.
I feel like if you're over 70 and you like Mel Brooks movies, like you can come to that aspect that you could like this movie.
I don't know. I think this was trying to be a comedy, and it wasn't really. I don't know. It misses a lot, but there are. I didn't I didn't hate watching it.
There's fun parts. There's
Yeah.
absolutely fun parts.
I
of this
mean,
movie.
I watched all 6 Resident Evil movies recently. I had a lot more fun watching this than any 6 of those.
So you're like you're in a toxic relationship with movies. We're like, well, this one didn't beat me.
Well,
That's
what,
like the bare minimum.
what happened with that was someone in this movie group I'm in was like, "Hey, I have the digital download code for the entire Resident Evil set. I'll sell it for like $5." And I was like, $5 to watch all 6 movies? I've only ever seen the first. Here's $5. So he gave me the code. I watched the first one. I was like, yeah, I remember that being bad. Second one, well, that was worse. Third one, that's a little better.
What you're
I just
saying-
kept going. I was the whole time. I got to the end. Literally after I did the 5th one, I do everything. I put reviews on Letterboxd for everything. But on after the 5th one, I was like, well, I guess I'm gonna watch the 6th one. I already watched the other 5.
What you're describing right now is heroin.
Yeah.
We're like, well, the first one was given to me, so I was like, well, it's free. I might as well just dab a little bit.
It's an abusive relationship.
By the 6th one, you were selling your shoes.
I'm like, look, I'll come back. It'll be better next time. I promise. It'll be better next time.
So
He's
I don't
not
know.
going to hit me this time.
I'm gonna say half-mast on this one because
Half-mast.
I enjoyed it enough. The stuff that was good was really good. I liked
Yeah.
puppets. I love dummies. I liked the scene with the little Woody kid. Hopefully you listened to the episode and didn't just hear that clip. But the first hour of this movie was just like we just kept talking and like not paying attention.
I
'cause
think
it was
that's
just
where I
nothing was
struggle though.
happening.
Is like there's a lot of enjoyment to this movie, but it takes so fucking long to get
Yeah.
there that
So are we saying out of 4 stars we give this 2.5?
no, we don't go stars anymore. We go boners.
I'm not a star.
Okay, so
So erectile
bonus?
dysfunction is a 0. Viagra is a 5. I might go 2.
2.
I'm going solid. Like it's in the middle, but it's flapping.
So you're 3-5.
It's
Yeah, something
You're
like that.
you're 3-5 windsock.
It's a windsock. That's
so
going.
it's a 2.5 all the way around.
Yeah.
My guy's a grower. Derek's is a shower.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I probably won't watch it again.
Yeah,
But-
ooh, well said.
You know what? Here's the thing. If someone's like, I'm going to watch High Spirits, I would just say, you know what else is out there? Beetlejuice.
Oh,
You know what else is out there? Nothing but
Angela.
trouble. What was it called?
Nothing but trouble.
a much better movie than this though is Gilda Radner and Gene Wilder in Haunted Honeymoon.
I've never seen that one.
That is
But Gene
not.
Wilder's great.
That as I say, it's probably not going to be in this podcast. There's certain
Like-
things I love that like I would love to talk about you guys, like talk to you guys about, but like Haunted Honeymoon is too good of a movie to be unless you're doing a Halloween spooktacular kind of thing.
So, yeah, that's it for this week. That was High Spirits, directed by Neil Jordan, Steve Guttenberg, Darryl Hannah, and a bunch of fucking people. Who cares?
Oh, Liam Neeson, don't you know? I've got full-blown AIDS.
I'm not 100% sure what we're doing next week. The episode will be coming out on my brother's birthday, so I was like, I'm gonna do a fucking terrible anime adaptation because he loves anime. I can't do the last Avatar or the last
Dragon
Airbender
Ball?
or whatever.
Can't do
I'm
Dragon.
thinking about Dragon Ball, but he doesn't like Dragon Ball.
It's the worst
I'm talking about
adaptation I've ever
adaptation.
seen.
The one he did recommend to me was based on it was called Death Note.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't want a bad one that's just bad, like because it's not like your anime. I want a bad one that's bad. And he's like,
Yeah.
You're good. Trust me.
Okay, all
So
right.
it might be that. But either way, that might be what's coming up next week. Who knows? Don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, Twitter. It's Bad Movies Worst People or BMWP Podcast on Twitter. Check out the website, badmoviesworstpeople.com. Send us an email. When you're on there, click the link that says merch and buy some shit because I need to sell some shit. Also, if you're listening to this and you live in Tucson or nearby, I'm going to have some hats for sale. But you'll have to contact me directly, so do that. badmoviesworstpeople@gmail.com. We'll see you guys next week. I have been Derek.
And Whitney, and if you go to Harbottle Brewing, we're located at Ajo and Palo Verde. Come and mention that you listen to Bad Movies Worth People, and you will get half off your flight.
Ow!
I'm Patrick. I work for the government. You don't want to know me.
Oh, I'll be topped, and I've been Jack.
I didn't even know about a discount, so I'm going to go tell him. And we'll see you guys next week. Goodbye.